Live from Osland Field at Mount Hood Community College, this is Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball, presented by Active Family Chiropractic, Edward Jones, Gresham Ford, Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, the Gresham Police Officers Association, Lucky Pint, Metro East Web Academy, Northwest Accounting Partners, Olympic Gym, Riverview Community Bank, and State Farm. Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball starts now.
Hello, and welcome in. Hello, and welcome into another edition of Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball Live here. Hello. And so now, welcome into another edition of Gresham Gray Wolves Live here. Apologize for the slight technical difficulties to begin this broadcast, as your Gresham Gray Wolves have taken the field here in the last home series, the last series of this 54-game summer season. Now, the Gresham Gray Wolves in these last three matchups will be taking on the Elks from Bend, who they faced just a week ago. Won 2 out of 3 games against them in Bend, but we're taking them on here at Osland Field out here in Gresham, Oregon, on the campus of Mount Hood Community College. It'll be the last 3 nights you'll be able to listen in and check in on your Gresham Gray Wolves, so we appreciate you being along with us tonight. My name is Evan Giddings. I'll be with you for the remainder of the evening. My broadcast partner, Nick Winstead, will be in with you tomorrow night. However, we want to get you the starting lineups for both teams coming into play. Now, first for the Bend Elks, as they'll be the visitors batting first. Leading off and playing center field, it'll be Derek Chapman. Batting second and playing left field, Elliot Willie. Batting third and doing the DHing this evening for the Elks, it'll be Billy King. Batting cleanup and in right field, Pat Flynn, with Tommy Lane batting fifth and playing first base. Lewis Wolf doing the catching. He'll be batting sixth, with Colin Runge behind him playing third base, batting seventh. Tate Budnick batting eighth and playing second base, with George Mendozona playing shortstop and rounding out at number 9. And, of course, Nate Hunter, the right-handed starter, on the bump for the Bend Elks, as they're just about ready to go here. On the bump for the Gresham Gray Wolves, it'll be the left-hander Gabe Benavides making his very last start this evening. We've seen already a couple of final outings from left-handed starters for Gresham. Chris Brown in the final finale at Corvallis is now the leadoff man here for Bend. Derek Chapman will step in. And so Gabe Benavides making his last start as a Gray Wolf will start this one off with a strike on the outside corner here to begin the ball game. And so Chris Brown, along with Aaron Schaup, who pitched in the second game of that series previously in Corvallis, that's where Gresham was before, is now a lazy fly ball sent into center field. Over there is Ryan Smith, a little bit to his left, now camped under it, and makes the catch for the first out of the ball game. So defensively for the Gray Wolves, it'll be Mark Cardinale in left field. That man, Ryan Smith, patrolling center. Drew Curtis over in right field, in fact, making his very first start in right field as a member of the Gresham Gray Wolves. We've seen him occasionally out in left, but tonight going to be moving over to the right field corner there. On the infield, left to right, will be Connor Zickafoose at third, Jack Johnson at shortstop, Jordan Barkus at second base, and Will Matheson over at first, with Ben Klenke doing the catching. As now the first pitch on the way, fly ball down the right field line in foul territory. Giving chase is Curtis as well as Matheson, but unable to get there is Elliot Willie, the second batter of this ball game, is down on the count here 0-1. And so Klenke in the squat behind the plate, and of course Gabe Benavides on the bump. The 6'2" and 180-pound left-hander, going to be a junior at Grand Canyon University this upcoming fall. Currently a 2-4 summer season record, with a 4.61 earned run average at the 0-1 on the way. Fastball way too outside there, evening up the count at a ball and a strike. Making his 10th start for the Gray Wolves, and that is a team high. Came into the game with 50 2/3 innings, as now this one is fought off over down the right field line again and just out of the reach there of the first baseman, Will Matheson, giving chase, as now the count runs 1-2. Total of 38 strikeouts, just 17 walks surrendered so far, and 62 hits, as his last couple of starts have been a bit inconsistent. Kind of every other really has been how Gabe Benavides has kind of done it so far this season, as now the 0-2 on the way, and bounced into the dirt there. Looked like a changeup that time. Or excuse me, 1-2 is the count now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And so Bend actually, in relation to the Grey Wolves playoff hopes, which unfortunately were diminished last night and befuddled as this one swung on and missed. A fastball tailing over the outside edge, and right through it was Elliott Willie for the first strikeout for Gabe Benavides, and the second out here to begin the ball game at the top of the first. And so like I was mentioning, unfortunately the Grey Wolves out of playoff contention as of last night with a loss to Corvallis, and unfortunately were swept all 3 games down there in Corvallis at the campus of Oregon State University. Just thinking about OSU right there. Is now the first pitch on the way to Billy King is inside here, 1-0. Yep, down there at Goss Stadium. Got to go down there for 3-game series on Coleman Field. Really a beautiful field, all turf. Seats about 3,000 as the second pitch now to Kings. The fastball right there on the outside edge here, 1-1. But unfortunately, the Grey Wolves could not extend their season into the playoffs, or at least give themselves a chance to here in this last series. This is now the 1-1, a fastball too far outside. But it was a good effort by the Grey Wolves. Had a couple of one-run losses. Lost 3-2 in the first game of the series. 8-7 in the second game, as now Benavides misses outside again, and it's 3-1 here to Billy King. The third game of the series was not as close, as the Grey Wolves ended up falling there 10-2. And their last win, in fact, came against Bend. And that was an 8-7 victory, a 1-run victory back on July 31st. Have not got a victory in the month of August so far, as this one is sprayed down the first base line but foul, so that'll run the count full. And of course, that 10-9 loss looming large, where Gresham held a 9-run lead early. In the third inning, they're up 9-0. Unfortunately, the Bend Elks rallied late, put up 10 runs. This one is swung on and missed on the outside corner, blew it by him with a fastball, and the payoff pitch results in the second strikeout of the inning and of the ball game for Benavides. So a 1-2-3 top of the first, as we'll head to the home half of the first inning here at Osland Field. We'll get you the starting lineups and the offense for your Gresham Grey Wolves when we return here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live.
Bum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
And so the right-hander Nate Hunter on the bump for the Bend Elks. They'll be taking on the Gresham Grey Wolves offense. Leading it off for Gresham, it'll be the designated hitter of the night, Dylan Doherty, batting leadoff and getting the DH spot for the second time in as many games. Batting second, it'll be the shortstop Jack Johnson, followed by Mark Cardinale. Connor Zickafu's hitting cleanup for the first time this season. Ryan Smith behind him in the 5-hole as usual. Drew Curtis batting 6th. Ben Klinke batting 7th. Will Matheson hitting 8th. And Jordan Barkas rounding out and batting 9th for your Gresham offense. And so now Dylan Doherty, left-handed batter, step in the box here against Hunter. And the first pitch on the way from the right-hander is a fastball on the outside edge called strike one. The umpiring crew this evening will be filled by the home plate umpire Tim Gerkman, as well as his field counterpart, Jim Courtney. There's now the second pitch on the way. High fly ball driven into center field, but playable there for Derek Chapman, as he'll take a couple steps back, about 20 feet in front of the track there, and he'll make the catch. Now defensively for the Elks in left field, it'll be Elliott Willie. In center field, that man Derek Chapman. In right field, Pat Flynn. And then on the infield at third base, Colin Runge. At shortstop, George Mendozona. Second base, Tate Budnick. At first base, Tommy Lane, with Lewis Wolf in the squad behind the plate. And of course, Nate Hunter on the mound for the Elks. Now Hunter, so far in this 2016 summer season, has made 6 starts. This is, of course, number 7. Now Johnson, first pitch swinging, ground ball left side, and backhanded by the shortstop, but cannot come up with it cleanly, as that'll be an infield single for Jack Johnson. Not sure if Mendozona would have had a chance at that should he have been able to come up with it cleanly, as his momentum was taking him away from first base. And Johnson can run well, despite his stature, about 6'2", 190 pounds. Runs well for kind of a larger middle infielder, and surely would have been able to beat that one out. So a one-out single here. First base runner of the ball game for either side, as Gabe Benavides had a 1-2-3 top half of the first here, as Mark Cardinale steps in. First pitch on the way, ball 1 upstairs. And Cardinale featuring the no batting gloves look. That's something we haven't seen from him this season, as the Gray Wolves in their home whites. Gray Wolves spelled across the chest in gold, tapered in black. The number right below that on the left side. There's now the 1-0. Check swing there as this fastball runs too far in, and he did not go around. 2 balls and no strikes here to the Gresham left fielder. The Bend Elks in their away blacks, the alternates. Sleeveless uniforms there. It looks like they got Bend across the chest in gold, as well as the numbers on the back kind of tapered there in white. Very kind of difficult to see up here from our perch in the Wolf Den, the Gresham Ford broadcast booth, as pickoff attempt over there not in time. And now the pitch on the way here to Cardinale is a fastball low, 3-0. So the Gray Wolves in the first game of their series against Bend, actually it was kind of a tight one. Only got 3 runs, all of them coming in the 6th innings. And Jack Johnson, the runner on first, had a couple of RBIs, a key RBI single late in the ball game, is now this one fired right through the heart of the plate. Going to go strike 1 to Cardinale. Will Matheson collected the other run batted in. So a 3-1 victory there in the first game of the series, as Gresham was looking good. In fact, a very impressive Game 1 victory after bouncing back from a couple of losses against Kinsep, as now Cardinale will take ball 4 here low. So a couple of base runners after Doherty flies out to center to begin this ball game, and now it'll be Connor Zickafoose tasked with hopefully bringing a run in here early. We saw Gresham in the previous series at Corvallis be able to score early in the ball game. In fact, in the very first game of the series, it was Jack Johnson who hit a solo home run on the second pitch he saw on the second batter of the ball game. That gave Gresham a 1-0 lead, but unfortunately could not hold it, as they ended up falling 3-2. All 3 of those runs coming in 1 inning for Corvallis, as now Zickafoose will take a fastball over the outside edge called strike 1. In Game 2 of that series was a little different, as another 1-run loss befell Gresham and kind of put a dampen on the playoff hopes. Of course, with the last night's loss completing the sweep, officially putting Gresham out of the running, is now this changeup low in the dirt here. That'll even up the count at a ball and a strike. And so Zickafoose coming into play has really been hitting well as of late. 287 average, and that's been an average that has climbed all season. I mean, he really has come along as an offensive player, especially his approach to the plate, as this one is driven into right center field. The right fielder doesn't see it. Got lost in the lights. That's going to get into right center field. Johnson will score easily. Here comes Cardinale all the way from first base. No throw, as he is in standing up, and a 2 RBI double there for Connor Zickafoose, who will coast into second base there. Gresham's on the board here early, 2-0. And so Pat Flynn, the Bend right fielder, as soon as that ball was hit, it was going to get down for a base knock regardless. It was kind of a line drive that would have split the gap out in right center field, but nonetheless, Pat Flynn right off the bat, who's wearing sunglasses, did not see the ball, and so just kind of threw his hands up. And since the ball was near him, Derek Chapman, the center fielder, had to come all the way over and pick that ball up, which allowed Cardinale to score all the way from first base. And so now 2-0 in the favor of the Gray Wolves here in the bottom of the first as Ryan Smith will step in. He's first pitch swinging. Will send a pop-up into shallow left field center field, as Chapman will come in and make the catch. Zickafoose will have to retreat back to second base, now 2 away.
And your right fielder, number 21, Drew Curtis.
And so now the right fielder, Drew Curtis, will step in. Of course, mentioned making his first start out in right field this evening, as Gresham has already plated 2. Johnson and Cardinale, both of them reached with 1 out, a single and a walk, and then that Zickafoose double. Here's Curtis will come to the plate. In fact, over the last week has been the hottest Gray Wolf hitter in his last 6 games. A .455 batting average as he waves through a breaking ball of the outside edge there, 0-1. .455 batting average, like I mentioned, 10 hits and 22 at-bats, by far the best for Gresham. Now, Jack Johnson has had more at-bats over that stretch with 26, but actually just collecting his 5th hit in the last week, as now another breaking ball has Curtis down on the count 0-2 as he swings through another pitch. Might have chased a ball there, but nonetheless now we'll have to shorten up. Over that week, Curtis also has scored 5 runs, second on the team there to Smith, who just flew out, who has 8. Also a pair of doubles, home run, 5 RBIs. So Curtis definitely carrying a hot stick so far, as now Hunter in the stretch, and Hunter trying to speed up the tempo here as Curtis gets back in the box and immediately saw Hunter in the stretch. So trying to play it a little quicker as Curtis will try to slow him down. Now the check back to second. Pitch on the way, fastball, swung on and missed, tied him up on the inside corner with a heater, but that will end the side, but not before Gresham plates 2. Jack Johnson and Mark Cardinale come around, and an RBI double from Connor Zickafoose to give the Gresham Gray Wolves an early 2-0 lead here over the Bend Elks. So that will conclude the first as we'll head on to the next inning. 4, 5, 6 coming up. Pat Flynn, Tommy Lane, and Lewis Wolf when we return. It's Gresham 2 and Bend 0 here on Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball Live.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is at home of Gresham Gray Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Gray Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Gray Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGrayWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Gray Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGrayWolves.com. Gear up!
So now the left-hander Gabe Benavides back out on the bump for his second inning of work. Coasted through a 1-2-3 top half of the first inning, as now he will get the right-hander Pat Flynn will step to the plate for the Bend Elks. A pair of strikeouts in that inning. A 2-2 count to Elliott Willie got him swinging, and Billy King in a full count got him whiffed to whiff as well. And so now the right fielder for the Elks, a right-handed batter, is the sun bearing down, creating a couple of shadows streaking across the outfield. First pitch swinging in a high pop-up, a big league fly out, now drifting into right center field is the second baseman Barkis, and now will yield to the right fielder Curtis, who comes in and makes the catch for the first out of the second inning. So a nice play right there. Now Tommy Lane will come in, and the beer batter of the ball game tonight, Tommy Lane, of course, coming into play, I believe, leading the WCL, or at least tied for the lead in home runs, and has the outright lead in RBIs. 5 long balls so far this season for Tommy Lane, and a total of 37 runs batted in, and certainly a a stocky left-hander. The first pitch on the way to him is a fastball right there in the outside corner called strike one. A senior to be at Marshall University. Has struck out, though, 57 times in 42 games as he now checks his swing. Doesn't pull the trigger there on a curveball, rolled outside, ball one. Also just a 247 batting average, and with the way he swings his bat, along with looking at his statistics, a total of 178 at-bats so far. And out of his 44 hits, 15 of them extra base hits, of course, with the 5 home runs, 10 doubles, as he now swings through a sinking fastball right there from Gabe Benavides. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kind of seems like an Adam Dunn type figure, of course, not really producing as much as the average, but definitely has supplied the power and the ability to drive in runs all season for the Bend Elks. Is now the 1-2 on the way. Swung on and missed on the outside corner. Breaking ball away from Lane as he waves right on over it for the third strikeout of the ball game here for Gabe Benavides in the second of the second inning. And so now with 2 away here,
Your catcher,
Benavides will now face Lewis Wolf, and he looks locked in to go, understanding that this is his last start of the season and looking to leave it all out there on the mound. So far, so good. As the first pitch on the way here. Fastball right there on the outside edge, called strike one. Benavides kind of with a 3/4 release and really gets a lot of bite on that 2-seam sinking fastball. There's now the 0-1 working quickly here. There's another one on the inside corner this time. Spots it beautifully, and it's 0-2. So interesting here as Benavides, the 0-2 pitch, fastball at least back off the screen. Might have got away with a pitch right there. Tried to hump up on that one and left it a bit up, but Wolf could do nothing with it. As the backstop this evening coming into play for the Bend Elks, actually atop the batting average, batting .344. 31 hits through 90 at-bats, making his 27th appearance, is now the 1-2, changeup that time way outside as Klinke, in fact, has trouble gloving that one. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Wolf. Not too often you see backstops with that ability to hit for average. And a couple have faced in back-to-back series now as the 1-2, shallow fly ball drifting into left center field. Over is Smith. He'll camp under it and make the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So far, 6 up, 6 down here for Gabe Benavides as we'll head to the bottom of the 2nd. Coming up for the Grey Wolves, it'll be the bottom of the order, and Ben Klinke, Will Matheson, and Jordan Barkus. When we return here on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live, it's Gresham 2 and Ben nothing.
Try to double play with your Gresham Grey Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Grey Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Grey Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Grey Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Grey Wolves on social media. The Grey Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And so now the catcher, Ben Klinke, will step in. The left-handed batter for Gresham will lead off this inning. He'll be followed by Will Matheson and Jordan Barkus as we come back to you here in the first of a 3-game series, the final series on the season for the Gresham Grey Wolves as they hold a 2-0 lead early here over the Bend Elks. And so now Nate Hunter in the windup. First pitch on the way to Klinke. First pitch swinging as he grounds this one off to the right side and foul out of play here, 0-1. Gresham played at 2 there in the bottom of the first. thanks to a one-out single by Jack Johnson, followed by a walk from Cardinelli that set the table there for Connor Zickafoos. And with one out, doubled the right center field is now the second pitch way outside there to Klenke here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Zickafoos kind of took advantage there of Pat Flynn, who after the line drive was hit into right center field, could not see the ball, could not get to it in time. That allowed Cardinelli to come around all the way from first bases. Now this pitch is fouled back off and beyond our heads here for the second strike of the at-bat. So Zickafoos collecting his 13th and 14th RBIs of the season. Total of now 188 on the year for Gresham, as this one is swung on and missed. A back foot curveball right there for out of the hand of Hunter, and Ben Klenke swung right on through it for the second strikeout of this ball game and the first of the home half of the second. So one away here for Will Matheson, who will step in, who's now an 800, has a couple of strikeouts himself, trying to match Benavides currently with 3. He K'd up 2 in the first inning and 1 there in the top of the second, as he has retired all 6 batters he has faced so far, as now the 6'6" freshman to be at Stanford University will step in and swing to look like a cutter that time there from Hunter. Certainly a hard thrower there, and the count's 0-1. And Hunter, in addition to Benavides, a couple of pitchers that like to work fast, as he has his side now inside breaking ball there, kind of a front door pitch, but couldn't quite get the call. And it's a ball and a strike. Matheson on the season, a .214 batting average. 9 runs scored. A trio of doubles as he now takes a pitch low here, ball 2. Also has 1 home run. In fact, came the last time that the Gray Wolves were at home. Had that 6-game road trip of the previous week against Bend as well as Corvallis. Is now this one, and capped off the end of the bat. Ground ball softly up the middle, fielded by the shortstop, thrown in the dirt, dug out there, and it is not in time as Will Matheson able to pick up an infield single, the second of the ball game for Gresham. And was it going to be a tough play there for George Mendozona, the shortstop, ranging to his left just a couple of feet beyond the second base bag, picked it up and fired right into the dirt. And Tommy Lane was unable to dig it out in time to get Matheson. So the athleticism paying off right there for the Gresham first baseman, and now with 1 out and 1 on, Jordan Barkis will step in. Playing second base this evening for the Gray Wolves. Rocking that sleeve on the right side, the camo sleeve in gray and black, as he'll now take a fastball over for a strike there on the outside edge. And Barkis, we've seen a little more action of over the past weeks. Was generally getting about 1 game per series, and was in the second game, is now he'll take a slider over the outside corner again. Strike called there, 0-2. And so Barkis, good to see him getting a start here in the first game of the series. Could mean a little more playing time for the youngest Barkis. Is now a backdoor breaking ball. Doesn't catch the edge there, and it counts 1 ball and 2 strikes. Of course, Jordan, the younger brother of head coach Justin, as well as manning the third base coach duties with Michael Pena on the opposite side. And then Scott Barkis, another assistant coach there in the dugout for Gresham. He's the father of both of these Barkises. As this one is fouled back off the boards here, count remains 1-2. So the Gray Wolves have been keeping it in the family all year long. Unfortunately, just eliminated from playoff contention last night as Corvallis bested them 10-2. Yakima Valley had the night off. All they needed was 1 loss from the Gresham Gray Wolves or 1 win themselves, as now this pitch misses outside here, 2-2. And we're able to get just that. The magic number essentially was at 1 last night. And so now officially up 3 games, and Gresham would not be able to win either of the tiebreakers. As this one slapped into left center field. That's going to get down for a base knock. Overs the left fielder Willie. He'll pick it up and play it in, but not before back-to-back base knocks here with 1 out. Have a runner now in scoring position for the top of the order coming up in the form of designated hitter Dylan Doherty.
Your DH number 2, Dylan Doherty.
Currently 0 for 1 as he flew out to medium deep center field there to lead off the ball game in the first inning to Derek Chapman. And in fact, hasn't really seen a whole lot of playing time as of late, really only in the designated hitter position, because he's been nursing a right arm injury that has prevented him from playing shortstop, which is where we've seen him for the majority of the season. Messina takes a big swing and a miss there. Chased a fastball high, and it's 0-1. And so good to see Doherty back in the lineup, and was really a spark plug at the top offensively. Had a 13-game hitting streak at one point of the season. Also a 22 on-base streak throughout this season. Is now third base, and head coach Justin Barkis will head down. Has a couple of words. Appears there for Doherty. Maybe trying to make sure that he got the sign relayed to him. With one out, runners on second and first, and will now resume his perch over there on the third base bag, and Nate Hunter will come set. So the 0-1 pitch on the way. Backdoor breaking ball there, not in for a strike, as Doherty is able to take that one there for ball one. Having already played it two, Gresham understands, especially against this Bend team, that they want to step on their throats early and keep the pressure on, because as we saw in the third game of the last series against Bend, when they had a 9-run lead, as this one is taken in for a strike right through the heart there. Doherty couldn't pull the trigger, and it's 1-2. As we saw in the third game of the 3-game series just a couple of days ago, in fact, actually, it was on August 1st. So 4 days ago, where Gresham had a 9-run lead and ended up losing 10-9, 10 unanswered runs over the previous 6 innings, or the last 6 innings, I should say, as this curveball misses high here. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. They currently have a 2-0 lead. 4 hits so far for Gresham, none there for Bend, as Benavides has kept all base runners off the base paths. This 2-2 ripped into right field. That's going to get down for a base knock. One hips right fielder Flynn has trouble with it as he collects it and throws, but they're going to hold Matheson over there at third base as he took a big turn, but will now head back as Tommy Lane cuts that one off. And just like that, 3 singles in a row have loaded the bases here for Gresham, prime for an outburst, hopefully to put some pressure here offensively on the Bend Elks. And so now with Jack Johnson coming to the plate, who already has 1 single himself as well as a run scored. Could be a chance for Gresham to put a couple runs up early here against Nate Hunter. The right-hander in the stretch, a couple of shakes, now has his sign. Checks Matheson at third, is now the big leg kick. Breaking ball right through the heart of the plate there, 0-1. And Jack Johnson struggled a bit in that third game in the series against Bend, went 0 for 5. Didn't play in the second game of the series and went 1 for 4 there with a RBI single, 2 RBI singles now as he takes a fastball of the outside part of the plate. Quickly now 0-2. So just 1 for 9 in the previous series against Bend, although those 2 RBIs did come at a key time, helping his team get a 3-1 win in the first game of the series. And now he takes a breaking ball right through the middle of the plate there. Down on strikes is Jack Johnson. He knew it, heading back to the dugout as he slams the bat on the ground there. And that was a knee buckler there from Nate Hunter. It just seems that everything that he's been throwing so far has been hard, and harder. And that was a very sharp breaking ball that cut right through the middle of the plate. And nothing Jack Johnson could have done about it there. So now Cardinelli, it'll be up to him here with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Hunter, that big deep breath, and now the pitch. Another hard breaking ball, and this is too low here. 1 ball and no strikes. Cardinelli walked in a 3-1 count in the first, ended up coming around on the Zickafoose double all the way from first base. As again, swinging with no batting gloves tonight. Wags the bat over his right shoulder and now takes another breaking ball. So back-to-back sliders. Looks actually more of a slurve action there from Nate Hunter. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. So Matheson on third, Barkis on second, and Doherty on first. As this one is grounded, diving play by the third baseman, but cannot come up with it as he bobbles it out of his glove. That's going to go for a base hit and RBI single here on the infield for Mark Cardinelli. As it looked like it was going to be a spectacular play defensively made by the third baseman on the hot corner. Colin Runge dove to his left, and the ball, as he was getting himself up, popped out of his glove. And so everyone is safe. Will Matheson comes in to score, and it's 3-0 Gresham. So Barkis moves up to third. Doherty up to second, and Cardinelli now at first base with Connor Zickafoose stepping in. Of course, he had the 2 RBI double back in the first as he takes ball 1 low here. 1-0. His double split the gap out there in right field as the right fielder himself, Matt Flynn, couldn't really see it off the bat, and as a result got a late jump, allowing 2 runners instead of 1 to come in. There's now the fastball way outside there, 2-0. Now actually in the 3rd game of the last series against Bend on August 1st, Gresham put up 6 runs in the 1st inning on, I believe it was 2 hits. They got a lot of help from the Bend pitching staff. Walked 6 in that inning as Zikavus takes a big swing and a miss here on a fastball through the outside part of the plate, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. And so not really expecting or waiting for the base on balls here in this game. They've gone out and produced 5 base hits, which have led to all 3 runs as this breaking ball now buried in the dirt and blocked by the backstop, Lewis Wolf. A nice play to keep it in front, as that wild pitch to be surely would have allowed at least 1 run to come across. So instead now 3-1 is just 1 ball away from bringing in another run for the Gresham Grey Wolves as the bases are loaded here. Pardon me, 6 hits so far as this one 3-1 swing and fly ball deep to center field. Chapman got a late jump on it, but now back near the warning track out in right center and is able to make the catch to retire the side. So Gresham gets 1. Matheson comes in on the RBI infield single for Mark Cardinale, and Gresham has the lead here as we enter the top of the 3rd inning. It'll be Colin Runge, Tate Budnick, and George Mondazona when we come back here on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live. And it's Gresham 3 and Ben nothing.
Bum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
And so now as we enter the 3rd inning here at Osland Field on the campus of Mount Hood Community College, I'm Evan Giddings bringing you Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live, and your Grey Wolves currently hold a 3-0 advantage over their last opponent of the season, the Bend Elks, coming to the plate here in the top of the 3rd. It'll be the bottom of the order in Colin Runge, Tate Budnick, and George Mendozona against Gabe Benavides, the left-hander. So far, so good. 6 up, 6 down with a trio of strikeouts. Elliott Willie, Billy King, and Tommy Lane have already all gone down swinging here against Gabe Benavides in his last start as a Gresham Grey Wolf this season. In fact, a very nice gesture of him coming up to the booth before the ball game, coming in and shaking all the members of the media's hands. And thanking each and every one of us for what we've done this season, and I got to thank him as well for his performance throughout the season. Has been him along with Spud Heidemann, the 2 mainstays in the starting rotation for Gresham, and they have really been out there all season long and have been giving their all to this ball club that up until yesterday was a playoff contender. As the first pitch now on the way, a fastball right there at the knees to Colin Runge, and it's 0-1. And not only just that, but really the entirety of the team, as this one has popped down the right field line, giving chase is Matheson, and he will not be able to get there just beyond the outstretched arms of the first baseman. But it's 0-2 here to Runge. And so like I was saying, just really want to give credit to the entirety of this Grey Wolves roster, because throughout this season, they've seen a lot more downs than ups, especially early on, but have responded each and every time by coming back and playing their game. It just seems like no matter what situation they've been in, no matter what type of loss, especially the very last loss to Bend, with the Elks scoring 10 unanswered runs, the 0-2 pitch, a changeup high and outside here for ball one. Scoring 10 unanswered to win 10-9. They were still able to bounce back from that and really haven't hung their heads the entirety of the season, so want to give them credit for that, as now this fastball from Benavides misses a bit off the outside edge, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 3-0, 6 hits for Gresham, none so far for Bend. No errors on each side as this fastball again now misses up, but inside this time as the count runs full. Benavides did have a full count there in the first inning against Billy King with 2 outs, ended up getting a swing and a miss. So we'll see what kind of contact he can induce or not get right here. Challenge fastball, lace back off the screen here. Foul.
Hey guys,
and we'll do it again.
Hey guys, we can go again with a dog.
And so now 3-2 here as Runge will step out of the box, take a quick breather. Now is back in. Benavides in the windup. Now has his sign as the pitch on the way. Again, fouled right back off the screen. Fastball around the letters that time as Grunge, in fact, might have chased ball 4, but instead still finds himself battling in the count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Benavides' last outing, in fact, came against Bend on July 31st, and that was the last victory for Gresham in the last 5 days as this fastball misses high and outside. Ball 4 as the first base runner of the ball game for Bend comes in the form of the third baseman, Colin Runge, able to work himself an 8-pitch at-bat right there and a base on balls to begin this inning. And so like I was saying, Bend was the last outing for Benavides, went 6 1/3, ended up getting the no decision, but a quality start as he only allowed 3 runs, just 2 of them earned. Only 4 hits surrendered, 3 walks as well, and a total of 5 strikeouts as now he works from the stretch for the first time this evening. And first pitch bounces a fastball there to Tate Budnick, but blocked nicely by Klinke. The count's 1-0. And so Budnick playing second base this evening for Bend. Only batting .154. Just 8 hits through 52 at-bats is now the pitch on the way. Sliced out into right center field. Giving chase is Curtis, and now will yield there to Smith, coming all the way over from center field to make the catch. So that'll send Runge scampering back to first base, but a nice play made there by Ryan Smith. We know he's been hampering a right shoulder injury that has kind of prevented him from unleashing that cannon that we've seen throughout the majority of the season, but the leg's not affected there, and on full display on that play, able to record the first out here, the third. And so now the shortstop, George Mendizona, will step in for his first at-bat. Lefty on lefty matchup. A slightly open stance there. Crouching a bit now as the breaking ball on the way. In for a strike over the outside edge as Benavides is able to clip that slider in, and it's 0-1. Mendizona batting .266. 45 hits on the season. 23 runs scored, which is third most on the ball club behind Tommy Lane, as well as the center fielder Derek Chapman. It's now the 0-1 pitch. Off speed, outside and high there. Count now 1-1. As Mendizona coming in 169 at-bats, just second behind Tommy Lane himself. So Lane along with Chapman and Mendizona really have been consistently in the lineup each and every day. 45th appearance here for Mendizona. There's been 48 for Chapman, and Lane making his 50th is now the 1-1 pitch. A fastball way outside there, but gloved by Klinke for the second ball of the at-bat. Now Runge over there on first base, as Benavides was paying a little bit of attention to him. Although only 1 stolen base this season, does have some quickness, being third base, kind of the corner infielder, but has made appearances all around the infield, I'm told, this season. Is now this one fought off, back off the screen there to even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So a 3-0 ball game here in the top of the third inning. And although 1 base runner for Bend, currently no hits on the board. Goose eggs all around as Benavides will try and keep it that way here with the 2-2 pitch. Comes set, high with the chest, now kicks and fires. Fastball up and in as Mendozona has to bend out of the way of that one, and the count will run full. Second time this inning, Benavides has found himself in this situation. Ended up falling to Runge as he threw 8 pitches before eventually tossing ball 4. We'll try and reverse the fortunes here. Now's the payoff pitch on the way. Runners goes. This one flips softly into right center field. Giving chases Barkis, and he'll make the over-the-shoulder catch. Flips and throws to first bases. That will complete an easy double play as Runge all the way at second base. But nonetheless, what a play there made from Jordan Barkis to not only drift into right center field, but then make the catch over the shoulder on his left side to end the inning. So Gabe Benavides has effectively faced the minimum through 3 innings with the help of a Jordan Barkis double play. 4-3, they turn it, and we'll head to the home half of the third here at Osland Field. Ryan Smith, Drew Curtis, and Ben Klenke when we return, as it's Gresham 3 and Ben nothing here on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is at home of Gresham Grey Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
So now the second pitch of the at-bat here to Ryan Smith finds himself down on the count here 0-2 as he takes a fastball right through the middle there as the center fielder for Gresham currently 0-1. Already flew out to center back in the first as he now checks his swing on a breaking ball low and outside, and no, he does not go as it is ruled ball 1. So Smith, Curtis, and Klenke here in the bottom of the third inning for Gresham as they find themselves up a 3-run advantage here, 3-0 early in the ball game as this one hit off the end of the bat, slicing and dropping into right field for a base hit. Right out beyond the outstretched arms of Tate Budnick and right in front of Pat Flynn as Ryan Smith collects his first base knock of the night and the 7th already on the evening for Gresham as they picked up 4 there in the second, a couple in the first, resulting in 2 runs off the bat of a Zikafu's double, and then Mark Cardinale collecting the 3rd run batted in with a single on the infield of his own. So now Smith on first base. He's got plenty of speed and not afraid to use it. Is now Drew Curtis will step to the plate, featuring a new piece of lumber, so must have broken his last one as now he takes a curveball too far inside here, 1-0. Ended up striking out in his first at-bat, so not going to read into that too much, but quite possibly wasn't happy with whatever bat he went down on 3 pitches with. And now happy with this one as he sprays a deep shot into left center field, and this one is off the ivy. Ryan Smith got around third. He'll be waved. Now hold up at third base as Barkis will throw the hands up as Drew Curtis will coast into second base with a stand-up double here. Nobody out and runners in scoring position here for the Grey Wolves here to begin the bottom of the third. What an absolute blast. Tagged off the sweet spot of the bat from Drew Curtis. So obviously trading in his old one for a better piece of lumber and producing nicely. His first double of the day. And so far on the season, a total of 6 extra base hits now. 7 if you include the home run. And now Ben Klenke will step in from the left side. They're going to bring the corners in, does Ben. As this one first pitch swinging, pops it up on the left side of the infield. Shortstop Mendozona now drifting onto the brim of the grass out in left field. They're going to be able to make the catch for the first out. So Klinke frustrated with himself after that swing. Cannot do much with a first pitch fastball and cannot get either runner in. Now Smith will have to go back to third. Curtis to his respective bag over at second base, and now it'll be up to Will Matheson right here. So the Elks employing a similar defensive scheme. Corners in, infield, middle infield back, I should say. So a ground ball up the middle would allow the run to score. As Matheson, first pitch swinging, laces this one into right center field. That's going to get down for a base knock, and that one might split the gap. Over to pick it up is Chapman, as both runs easily will score, and Will Matheson will coast into second base with a double of his own. Taking a note right there out of Drew Curtis's book and going the other way into right center field. Will Matheson has the Grey Wolves back on the board here. They now lead it 5-0. And the offense for Gresham has absolutely exploded. Maybe the fact that they unfortunately were eliminated yesterday has got to them and taken their frustrations out here on Nate Hunter to begin this ball game. So now the left-handed batter, Jordan Barkis, will step in. Hunter has been from the stretch the majority of this inning. A leg kick and a fire as a fastball misses too far low and outside, ball one. And Barkis already with a single of his own, as he's 1 for 1 tonight. His 18th hit of the season. Batting average coming into play at .236. As he wags the bat over the left shoulder and now doesn't pull the trigger as he takes a fastball outside again, 2-0. Barkis, 11 runs scored so far this season, just a pair of doubles, although we did see one of them in Corvallis. Kind of sprayed one over the third baseman down the left field line, ended up going 4 extra bases, and now he swings and laces this one into the right center field gap, sinking, and that's going to get it down for a base hit, and that's going to get all the way to the ivy. Barkis is eyeing 2 as Matheson will easily score and will hold it up right there. So 3 doubles here in this inning for the Gresham Grey Wolves, and it's now 6-0 here in the bottom of the third. And they are absolutely pouring it on as Smith, Curtis, and Matheson have all come around to score here in this inning. A double for both Curtis and Matheson, and now Barkis follows suit. As this one is able to get past the right fielder Flynn. Kind of took a poor route to it, and not very efficient, as now the pitching coach for Ben will head out to the mound in a couple of words there for his starter, Nate Hunter. Probably trying to see not only what's going on mentally as well as physically, but also allowing the bullpen a little bit more time to begin warming up, as we see a couple of members of the Elks bullpen staff down there in the pen beginning to warm up. No throwing just yet, as now the group meeting on the mound will be adjourned by the home plate umpire, Tim Gerkman. Everyone will head back to their respective positions in the dugout behind home plate and on the rubber. As it appears a right-handed thrower has begun to warm up for the Elks. So can't quite check the number there. We'll try and get that for you as quickly as we can, but instead we'll focus in on the left-handed batter, Dylan Doherty. Already have plated 5 runners in this inning without an out. Or excuse me, with 1 out, as Doherty now shows bunt but pulls it back as he takes a fastball outside, 1-0. So Barkis on second base. He doubled in Will Matheson, who collected a pair of RBIs himself, knocking in Curtis and Smith. As now backdoor breaking ball called strike 1 here to even up the count at 1-1. So 6-0 Gresham, 10 hits already. And they didn't reach the double-digit mark, I believe, once in that Corvallis series. However, it's only taken 3 innings to crack 10 here already against Bend. So Hunter will check the runner on second, fires again. Another backdoor breaking ball, this one right there on the corner, and is called strike 2. So Doherty's going to have to shorten up right here, as he's 1 for 2 this evening. A single there in the second, flew out to center field in the first. So Hunter with his sign. A deep breath at the top, now kicks and fires. Curveball low and in, swung on and missed there. Gloved by the catcher, Wolf able to pick it out of the dirt. He'll apply the tag to Doherty, and that will complete the strikeout. So 2 away here in this inning for Gresham, and now will be up to Jack Johnson to try and keep this thing going. Already 3 runs across here in this inning. They plated 1 in the second, 2 in the first. for a total of 6 already. So the shortstop Johnson will step in from the right side. Hunter will check the runner at second base. Now fire. And a slider waved on and missed there. Count 0-1 to Johnson, who's so far 1 for 2 with a run scored as he's struck out looking as well as singled back in the first. University of Washington Husky holds the bat gently from the right side. Now takes another breaking ball. This one on the outside corner right there on the black. Called strike 2. And so Johnson not looking to go down swinging for the second time tonight. Although it does hold the second most on the team with 27, as now he'll take a breaking ball in the dirt. Squirts away from the catcher over on the left side, and that's going to get into the dugout of the Gray Wolves. And that will put Barkis over at third base. I thought with it going into the dugout, it might have a chance with Barkis already heading to third, allow him to score, but no, says the home plate umpire Tim Gerkman. He's going to keep Barkis at third base, right next to his older brother Justin. And so just 90 feet away is the youngest Barkis from scoring and representing the 7th run already this evening for Gresham. It's now 1-2 count on the wild pitch here to Johnson. As the pitch swung on and checked his swing, but he did go around, says Gerkman. He'll head back to the dugout as the tag is applied from Wolf, and back-to-back strikeouts gets Hunter out of the inning. But not before Gresham strikes for 3. Ryan Smith, Drew Curtis, and Will Matheson all come in 4 base knocks there in that inning, as Gresham now holds a 6-0 lead as we'll head to the 4th at Osland Field. So stick along with us as we'll be with you on the opposite end of this quick commercial break here on Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball Live.
Trying to double play with your Gresham Gray Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Gray Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Gray Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Gray Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Gray Wolves on social media. The Gray Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And so now Gabe Benavides back out on the bump, now with a 6-run advantage. 6-0. The Gresham Gray Wolves hold the lead over the Bend Elks in the first game of this 3-game series. The final of the 54 games here coming in these next 3 days. 52 here tonight, as the Gray Wolves will look to wrap up the season on a high note, coming into the game, a 4-game losing streak as they fell to the third game against Bend. Is now the leadoff hitter, shows bunt, drops one down right in front of the pitcher. Benavides picks it up and fires to first base in time as the leadoff man, Derek Chapman, tried to pull one over on the Gresham defense but could not. Benavides able to sniff that one out on the 1-3 putout, and there's one away here to begin the 4th. And so like I said, Gresham coming in a 4-game losing streak, of course being swept by Corvallis, but the losing streak going back to the 1st of August as they dropped that 10-9 loss against the Bend Elks. So looking for some revenge here in that sense, as the first pitch on the way to Elliott Willie is ball low, 1-0. Now Benavides working quickly. Another fastball fired too far inside there, 2-0. And Benavides, a guy that certainly is cool, calm, and collective off the field, but definitely on it, certainly displays the competitive fire as he now misses a bit too far inside again here, 3-0. And you could even tell on that bunt, he picked it up and viciously just uncorked a shot over the first base. had it not been right to the chest of Matheson, it surely would have been difficult to corral. But of course, with the accuracy right there, I should say on the bunt play, as he now misses ball 4 here to Willie. So not commanding the pitch, but however commanding his defensive abilities there, as now we have a base runner on with 1 out. So now the designated hitter, Billy King, will step in. He's 0 for 1. Has already struck out once against Benavides. Currently 3 Ks on the evening. Didn't collect any there in the third, but got the help of a stellar defensive play from the second baseman, Jordan Barkis, able to make an over-the-shoulder catch as he now misses high and inside with a breaking ball to King, 1-0. Was able to make a nice over-the-shoulder catch right about 10 feet onto the grass in right center field. And the runner at the time, Colin Runge, just took off to second base. It was a hit and run, essentially, in a full count situation. So Barkis just turned around and made a nice play to flip it on over to first base, complete the double play to get Benavides out of the inning, as the second pitch on the way is called low here. So 6 in a row tossed by Benavides. And King will probably just put on the brakes, at least with the bat there, until Benavides can get back in the zone. So the lefty in the stretch takes his time this time, but still misses high with a fastball, 3-0. So 7 in a row from Benavides, not something we've seen too often. Can kind of get in a groove in the better of the sense, and we certainly saw that in the first and the second innings going 1, 2, 3, but also some inconsistencies throughout this season and can kind of get in his own head at points. Hoping can get out of it right here, as now the 3-0 pitch. Nope, pickoff attempt over to first base, but no tag there from Matheson, as Willie is back in time. And in fact, Benavides has only walked a season-high 3. Did that on 3 occasions against Ben in his last outing on the 31st, against Walla Walla back on July 3rd, as he now misses low and outside, ball 4. So 8 in a row here, as that does tie the season high. Back-to-back walks, already had 1 additionally to begin the 3rd inning. And so with 1 out, we'll hope for a double play here in this situation with the cleanup man, Pat Flynn, coming to the plate. So in addition to that July 3rd outing, now a total of 4 if you count also the June 6th appearance, went 7 innings, got a W, his very first win of the Grey Wolf summer season. Struck out 7, but of course did walk 3. So that's going to be the threshold. That's where we expect him to be at the most. In fact, has had 3 starts where he hasn't walked any batters. Against Wenatchee, Kitsap, as well as his first outing against Thurston County, which technically was a non-conference competition, as now he fires a fastball, and that one too far inside, ball 1. I'm not sure how long Ian Sanderson is going to let this one go. He's on the edge of the dugout. In fact, I thought he was going to head out to the mound to have a quick word with Benavides, but should this one come inside, I would fully expect the pitching coach to make his way to the rubber. But will not have to, as this one is fired over the outside edge, strike 1. And hopefully that's all Benavides needs. You hear with other sports how, as soon as they can get that first look down, especially with basketball, as soon as you can get that first basket or maybe into the free throw line, a first strike, that'll keep them coming. As now this one is swung on, popped up over on the right side, but foul and out of play. So after 9 in a row there, 2 fired into the strike zone here from Benavides and finds himself ahead in the count. And definitely has got put away stuff. His season high against Cowlitz on June 6th, total of 7 strikeouts, but has struck out 5 batters multiple times. In fact, a total of 4. Victoria twice, Wenatchee, and as well as Bend. He's on the 1-2 pitch on the way. Changeup pulled the string low in the dirt. Planky keeps it in front, but nonetheless, Pat Flynn down on strikes, as that is the 4th K this evening here for Gabe Benavides. And now 2 outs and a chance to strand 2 base runners, with the first baseman, Tommy Lane, coming to the plate. Now Lane has already struck out 1 time this evening. And as the beer batter, I'm sure the fans hoping he can go down swinging again too. A couple dollars off an adult beverage. I know I certainly wouldn't mind one of those right now. That's 2 outs. Runners on second and first. Pitch on the way, and it is lofted out while beyond the screen there, 0-1. for those of you out there, I am 21. Don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. Nonetheless, 0-1 here to Tommy Lane. The big left-hander, really, like I mentioned in his first at-bat, is leading the WCL, or at least tied for the lead in home runs, and has the outright lead in RBIs, so plenty of power, as well as the ability to drive in runs as the curveball misses now low here from Benavides. 1 ball, 1 strike. So the light's officially on as we've reached 8 o'clock, 8:05 to be exact here in Gresham, Oregon, on the campus of Mount Hood Community College. The light's cutting on automatically at that 8 o'clock p.m. time. And now the runner taken off towards third. Benavides will step off, and they got him in a rundown. Throw over to Johnson at shortstop. He'll now come back to third base. Zikafu's trying to run him back. Now has Twins at second base and will apply the tag for the third out of the inning. So a 1-6-5 put out there, and Tommy Lane doesn't even need to swing as the runner on second, Elliott Willie, ends the side himself and will head to the home half of the fourth. So a couple of runners stranded there on the base running mistake of Willie as Benavides gets his way out of it. And coming up to the plate for Gresham in the home half of the fourth, it'll be Cardinale, Zikafus, and Ryan Smith. When we return here on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live, Gresham has the lead by far here so far, 6-0.
Bum ba da dum da da dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum ba dum bum bum bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
And so Nate Hunter back out of the bump for the Bend Elks as Mark Cardinale currently in a 2-1 or 2-0 count, excuse me. The first two pitches from the hands of the right-hander Nate Hunter missed outside. Currently a 6-0 lead here for Gresham. Entering the bottom of the third inning, and a hot shot through the dugout there of the Gresham side, right beyond the head of a couple of Grey Wolves players. It appeared that Curtis Perrin, along with Dylan Doherty, had to jump out of the way of that one. Also, Matt Cairo leaning back in a chair right there. Almost got himself a nice haircut. There's now the 2-1 on the way. Roped again down the third baseline, but not nearly as close to the dugout. However, still foul there as the count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So again, a 6-run advantage. Currently a shutout being tossed by Gabe Benavides. Has not allowed a run through the first 3 innings as he has effectively faced the minimum, or I should say through 4. As he got help, and now a ground ball right to the shortstop, pops up off the lip, right to the glove of Mendozona. He'll go across the diamond in time to get Cardinale, and there's one away here to begin the Gresham fourth. And so now Connor Zikafus, the third baseman, coming to the plate. Currently 1 for 2. 2 RBI double there in the first and ended the second inning. Flew out to center field there to unfortunately leave the bases loaded, although the Grey Wolves have been able to capitalize on plenty of other situations so far tonight as he fouls this one off to the left here, 0-1. Although it's interesting, it seems that really throughout the last couple of series, no matter how many runs or hits they've been able to put up on the board offensively, the efficiency hasn't been where Barkas has liked it, or wanted it to be, I should say, as this fastball now bends back over the inside part of the plate. A nice 2-seam there from Hunter. And the count quickly now 0-2. because if you look so far in this ball game, Gresham has left a total of 5 runners on base through its first 3 offensive frames. And although it's played at 6, is now the 0-2. Hard ground ball right side, but pops up. Chopper right to the second baseman, Budnick. He'll glove it on the left side of the infield and go right on to first base for the second out. And so like I was saying, 5 runners left aboard here, and despite the fact that they have scored 6, they've left a total of 4 of those, in fact, actually 6 runners in scoring position, so 4 of which have been left in scoring position, as now Ryan Smith, the center fielder, will come to the plate. So not necessarily a concerning statistic, although I'm sure if you look at the way that the third game of that series rounded out for Gresham, through the middle of his innings, they had plenty of opportunities to score, as he'll now show bunt but pull it back as this fastball runs low here for ball 1. And so Gresham, throughout most of this season, really hasn't been able to maximize their offensive output, which in reality is quite scary now as Smith takes strike 1, a fastball right through the heart, because of the fact that they've been so good offensively, especially here in the second half, as now this slider misses too far inside ball 2. And if you look at those second half splits, their batting average is upwards of the top in the league. It really has climbed. I believe total on the season around 246, which in fact is identical to the Bend Elks offensive average. However, in the second half, Gresham's been hitting upwards of around 270. And up until the last series in Corvallis, when of course the great pitching staff of the Knights kind of hindered them, that average was even higher. Now the 2-1 ground ball right to the shortstop, Mendozona. Kind of a tough hop there, but handles it well as he'll fire across the diamond in time to retire the side. So 1-2-3, the Gresham Grey Wolves go here in the home half the fourth, as we'll turn it over to the 5th inning at Osland Field. Tommy Lane, Lewis Wolf, and Colin Runge when we return, as it's so far Gresham 6 and Ben nothing here on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live.
It's a howling good time down at the Lucky Pine. We have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fish bowl Fridays, come down and growler. The Lucky Pine is home of Gresham Grey Wolves. We honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook. See our latest cocktails and craft beer list. Come in and see for yourself what all about. Located at 8088 North Fairview Parkway, Gresham. Locally owned craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education touches lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings in hundreds of millions of dollars to the Hardy community, while also providing great education services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up.
So now the left-hander Gabe Benavides just about ready here as we welcome you back into the broadcast booth here at Osland Field. A 6-0 lead for the Gresham Grey Wolves over the Bend Elks, as it'll be the large and looming left-hander Tommy Lane, the first baseman for Bend. He'll come to the plate as the very first batter of the inning, and the beer batter, as announced by our very colorful PA, Michael Lord. We appreciate that. A lot of research goes into the beer batter. Typically, though, just looking at the amount of strikeouts they have, and with Tommy Lane at 57 so far this season, is a big swing and a miss right there on a curveball down and away. Currently in the count 0-1. Had a 1-1 count there in the previous inning as Benavides was able to take advantage of a pickoff attempt, ended up getting Elliott Willie in a rundown, and on a 1-6-5 putout, retired the side. There's now the 0-1 on the way. This one up and in as Lane has to scoot out of the way of that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. 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 So 57 strikeouts, really an appalling number. And in fact, if I had to make an educated guess, I would think that that would be the tops in the WCL. As the 1-1 on the way, off-speed pitch swung on and missed. Down and away, that seems to be where Lane struggles. And especially with a left-hander, kind of an open stance, I mean, you could just tell that this guy's a dead pull hitter. And with the Grey Wolves defensively even kind of moving a bit over to the right side. Not a full-on shift, is now the 1-2 on the way. Curveball and grounded off his ankle there, although appears to be all right. The count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. You can just tell that this guy, Lane, has one thing in mind, and that is to hit the ball hard, pull it, and lift it. Certainly a dip and rip kind of swing, if you will. Keeps the hands high, but then when he loads them, sort of drops them, dips the back shoulder a bit as the pitch on the way. Ground ball right side and just past the first base bag, foul. Matheson reached out for that one, but fortunate for the Grey Wolves as ruled by the field umpire Jim Reynolds foul, because Matheson unable to get to that ball and likely would have been extra bases. So nonetheless, a ball and 2 strikes here to Lane. Who also on the season has scored 24 runs, second most on the team behind Chapman, so pretty good production there for a man that generally is going to hit around the 4-5 position, as he now swings and misses on a curveball in the dirt, picked up by Clanky, and the tag applied there, as that is the first out of this inning and the 5th strikeout of the ball game for Gabe Benavides, as we see fans scurry to the concession stands to pick up a $2 off adult beverage. So nonetheless, one away here, as Lewis Wolf will now step to the plate. And not exactly an adult beverage, but nice to see our social media man Connor Pelton picking up his every night Pepsi. As the first pitch on the way here is a fastball inside to Wolf here, 1-0. I thought you'd like that one, Connor. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way, and a broken back ground ball right to the second baseman Barkas. He'll pick it up and go right to the chest of Curtis over at first base. Quickly 2 away here for Benavides to begin this 5th inning. And so far 3 walks for Benavides. Those have been the only base runners, as he has held the Elks hitless so far in this ballgame. Don't want to say it exactly, otherwise I'm a firm believer in baseball mojo, and I just don't want to bring that upon Benavides, especially in his last outing, as he now misses low here, 1-0. So hopefully talking about it in of itself will not allow a duck snort or a Baltimore chop, possibly a ground ball with eyes to sneak through. There's now the 1-0 pitch on the way from the left-hander, swung on and missed, pulled the string with the changeup again, and Benavides has been locked in all night. Apart from a bit of a scare there in the 4th inning when he threw 9 balls in a row, walked Elliott Willie and Billy King in back-to-back at-bats, but then is able to dial in right here. Another changeup over the outside edge called strike 2. Came back to strike out Pat Flim in that 4th inning and then got the pickoff attempt to get himself out of it. Now 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. Goes to the quick pitch mechanism right there, but misses too far low, as that'll run the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And so Benavides really attacking these Elk hitters the majority of the night, and heck, why not? Currently have a 6-0 lead. 10 hits so far for your offense, and none for the opposition, as now this one is slapped back off the right side of the screen here. Count stands pat. Now Runge, the hitter at the plate, currently has walked in his first at-bat, able to work a full count. So Benavides looking to learn from that mistake, looking to avoid it right here. As a changeup laced to the right side, back hit by Johnson, deep in the hole, squares up, fires to first base, in time, no, not in time, says Jim Reynolds. I thought the throw beat him, but a bang-bang play goes in the favor of Colin Runge for the first hit of the ball game for Bend. And especially with the situation, had a no-hitter there through 4 2/3. I thought Jim Reynolds might give him the benefit of the doubt. But nonetheless, just a good play there from Johnson to be able to get that ball across the diamond off the backhand, his momentum going away from first base, and also a nice pick by Will Matheson over at first base. As the first pitch on the way now to Budnick is taken low here, ball 1. And so Budnick so far tonight is 0 for 1. Fly out to center field. Back in the 3rd inning. Right-handed batter squares up as Benavides in the stretch now and buries a curveball just a bit too low here. Like he's able to catch it, but cannot get the frame call as it's 2 balls and no strikes. So runner on first, representing the first hit of the ball game for Ben. As this one ground ball, hard chopper right to the third baseman, Zickafoos. He'll square up, go across the diamond to Matheson over at first base, and the 5-3 putout has retired the side. So 1 hit, but no runs and 1 runner left on there for Benavides as we'll head to the Gresham Grey Wolf home half of the 5th inning. Curtis, Clanky, and Matheson when we return here on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live. It's Gresham 6 and Ben nothing.
Try to double play with your Gresham Grey Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Grey Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Grey Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Grey Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Grey Wolves on social media. The Grey Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And so now the right-handed batter, Drew Curtis, finds himself in a 1-0 count here against the right-handed pitcher, Nate Hunter. Still out on the mound there for Ben, despite being down 6-0 here as he now misses again outside. 2-0 to Curtis. So Gresham up 6-0. 10 hits for the Grey Wolves, 1 for the Elks. As now Curtis laces this one into left field. That's going to get down for a base knock. So Curtis, who already had an extra base hit in his previous at-bat, now gets back in the hit column again. 2 for 3 now in the evening as he begins the home half of the 5th with a single.
Catcher, number 22, Ben
And so now Ben Clanky will come to the plate. And in fact, so far tonight, really this, I think, speaks to the effectiveness and the power of the offense so far. Ben Clanky is the only member of the Gresham offense so far not to have a base hit. Not even not to reach base, but to not have a base hit. So out of the 11 base knocks, they've been distributed between 8 different Grey Wolf players as now Clanky swings and misses on a pitch on the outside edge here, and it's 0-1. Not sure how much longer Hunter has to go, as it appears that number 31 up in the pen. Now Clanky ground ball back up the middle, softly to the second baseman, over to the shortstop, on to first base in time. A 4-6-3 double play with the combination of Budnick to Mendozona, and finally on to Lane. And there's quickly 2 away now after the leadoff single.
First baseman, number 33,
So now it'll be up to Will Matheson to extend the inning. And looking up and down the lineup, honestly, not a better candidate so far, apart from possibly Curtis, as Will Matheson so far is 2 for 2. 2 RBI double as well as a single and a couple of runs scored as he swings through a pitch on the outside edge. Looked like a slider that time from Hunter. Had him out front and has him ahead in the count here, 0-1. So now Matheson squares back up again. Big breaking ball, front door pitch, but cannot get the call there as it misses too far inside, and it's a ball and a strike. Matheson in his last league has made 5 appearances, 3 hits and 16 at-bats, so a good sign as he's gotten back on track here in this ball game with a couple of base knocks, and now fouls this one back off the screen here, 0-2. Five RBIs, however, over his 5 games played, so still has found a way to provide production offensively, and also has found himself on base with 5 walks, as now rolls this one over up the third base line foul, and that kicks over to the Grey Wolves dugout. Nonetheless, it's going to keep the count at 1-2. So despite with a 3 for 16, the 188 average. Still has OBP of 381, around 400 for Matheson, as he now takes another breaking ball low and away here, 2-2. So 6-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And despite that large lead, has been kind of a quick one so far, just nearing 8:30 as this fastball buried in the dirt. Just around a 55-footer there from Nate Hunter, and the count runs full. Matheson has struck out 6 times in the last 5 of the week. That's tied for with Zickafoos, also with 6. But like I mentioned, 5 walks. Second most on the team behind Adams, as well as Ryan Smith. As a payoff pitch, and Matheson able to work his 6th walk in the past week and extend this inning now with 2 outs. So has reached base all 3 times tonight, and has certainly earned that on-base percentage to climb. A couple of base hits, now a walk here with 2 outs for Jordan Barkis, who's also 2 for 2. Had an RBI double to right center in the 3rd. That was back-to-back extra base hits for Matheson and then Barkis. And also a single there in the 2nd. The 2nd of 3 singles to load the bases before Mark Cardinale brought in 1 run with an infield single himself. So now Barkis will take a fastball on the outside edge, strike 1. Wolves had a 1-2-3 4th. Now at the very least, extending this 5th inning, although did lead it off with a single, as Barkis now tapped this one off home plate and then off to the left foul here, quickly 0-2. Curtis led off this inning with a single to left center before Clanky unfortunately grounded into a 4-6-3 double play to kind of end that possible threat. So it's going to be up to Barkis to extend this inning and possibly begin a new rally here with 2 outs. The left-handed batter now out in front on the changeup, grounds one over the right side, couple of hops right to the second baseman, Budnick. He'll pick it up, flip it on over to first base in time, and that'll end the frame. So we'll head to the 6th here at Osland Field with George Mendizona, Derek Chapman, and Elliot Willie coming up when we come back after this commercial break. It's Gresham 6 and Ben 0 here on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live.
Bum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
And so now, welcome back here as we begin the 6th inning at Osland Field in the first game of a 3-game series between your Gresham Grey Wolves and the Bend Elks. Now, currently, the Grey Wolves find themselves at a 6-run advantage, 6-0, as Gabe Benavides so far has blanked. The Elks has only allowed 1 hit so far, 3 walks, and has struck out 5 here. Leadoff batter and the 9-hole hitter, George Mendizona. So Benavides from the windup. First pitch, fastball in on the hands, broken bat right there. Ground ball to the second baseman. Barkis has a little bit of trouble with the hop coming off the lip, but is able to handle it and go to first base. Matheson put out there for the first out of this inning. There's 1 away here to begin the 6th, and Benavides has been coasting so far in this ball game. Chapman now will step in. He's currently 0 for 2. Tried a bunt attempt, or a drag bunt attempt, I should say, in his last at-bat there in the 4th, although was foiled by Benavides himself, fielding his position. And actually, that's funny that Chapman should try that, because I'm sure if he'd come out here every single day as the first pitch on the way, fastball right through the heart there, 0-1, he would see that, at least in batting practice, the Gray Wolves round of pitchers infield. And what I mean by that is every single pitcher, lefty or righty, gets out of the infield as this curveball is slapped. Shallow pop up into center field. Smith, he'll come over and make the catch, now 2 away. But the Gray Wolves always their respective positions. Typically see Benavides up the middle around shortstop or second base. And even because he's always fielding ground balls. So Benavides, very good defender, and has proven it not only in batting practice, but now on the field. As Derek Chapman, he got him there in the 4th, throwing him out. And now was able to get him to fly out here in the swing and a miss for Willie on the first pitch here in his at-bat. And that changeup has been dinged so far tonight for Benavides, really keeping the batters off balance. And now changeup only goes about 55 feet as he spikes into the dirt, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So about 60 foot 6 inches is the mound. And that one went about 5 feet short as this fastball misses 2 balls, 1 strike. Tugging the third base line, not trying to allow any extra base hits. Same with Matheson on the first base side, as now a rare breaking ball from Benavides right through the heart there, and it's 2-2. That 2 off, trying to go to that the third time through the order. Now the 2-2 on the way, laced right over the shortstop's head. Johnson jumps for it, but cannot corral it as Mark Cardinelli will have to play that one back in here in the top of the 6th inning here for Elliott Willie. That's just the second base hit for the Bend Elks. First on the evening for Willie, as the only other hit came in the previous inning in the 5th to the third baseman Colin Runge. And so now it'll be another large lefty. Billy King, he'll come to the plate. So far 0 for 1. Was a walk victim, or rather I should say was walked by Benavides there in the 4th. Was a part of back-to-back base on balls. I'm not sure what that meant, but nonetheless 0 for 1 as he struck out back in the 1st and now takes a fastball outside here, 1-0. So 2 outs with a runner on first as Willie will take his lead again. So far this season, just 1 stolen base, has been caught stealing once, as now a bender over the inside corner. A nice front door breaking ball there from Benavides, and it's 1-1. And so Gabe back in the stretch. Kind of has a mixture of pitches and release points, as now he kicks and fires. Slide step that time, got him to wave over a curveball on the outside edge, and it's 1-2. Now going to take a long and deep breath as he'll circle the mound. Now prepares to re-toe it again, does Benavides, the left-hander from just about right down the middle in terms of where he places that back foot along the rubber. Now a high leg kick this time, 1-2 pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. More 12-6 action on that one, but doesn't matter as King goes down swinging for the 2nd time tonight, and the 6th strikeout of the evening for Gabe Benavides has twirled a gem thus far as we head to the home half of the 6th. It'll be the top of the order for the Gray Wolves, Doherty, Johnson, and Cardinelli when we return here on Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball Live. And the Gray Wolves still have the lead over the Elks. It's 6-0.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is at home of Gresham Gray Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Gray Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. Huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
And so we want to welcome you back here as Dylan Doherty, first pitch swinging, lines one into center field, but playable there for the center fielder for the Elks. Derek Chapman comes in to make the K here to begin the sixth inning. So Doherty now 1 for 4 on the line out to center field, and that'll give way to the shortstop Jack Johnson, who's currently 1 for 3. Hasn't seen an at-bat since the third inning, actually, although his fourth of the ball game is now a first pitch changeup too far inside there, 1-0. So Nate Hunter, the righty, still out on the mound, and they're going to try and get as much out of him as possible. As the Bend Elks coaching staff has given up 6 runs thus far, as Johnson now will tap this one off the plate and foul backwards here, 1-1. Put up 3 zeros in a row, or I should say 2 zeros, looking to make it 3. But Benavides, Hunter just not been able to keep pace with him. Benavides has put up 6 zeros thus far, twirling a shutout now as a check swing from Johnson. No, he did not go around, says Jim Reynolds, so it's 2-1. Now the 2-1 pitch on the way from Hunter. Fastball low and outside there. 3 balls and 1 strike to Jack Johnson, who, like I mentioned, is 1 for 3. A pair of strikeouts, though. A total of 5 Ks on the evening for Hunter. Struck out Johnson in swinging and looking fashion. Is now jams him on a fastball, popped up on the right side of the infield. Playable there for the second baseman, Budnick, as he takes a step to his left and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. And Johnson not happy with himself. Before even getting to first base, slammed his bat on the ground. Not to be concerned with the 90-foot run he had to make. Rightfully so. A 3-1 count was a fastball that probably was ball forward. Was looking to lift off and drive a pitch, but instead got a bit jammed and popped out. So now it'll be up to Cardinale to extend this inning here with 2 outs. So this first pitch, a breaking ball on the outside edge, but too far, as it's ruled ball 1. So the right-hander, number 31, the anonymous 31, still warming up in the bullpen for the bench. The second pitch misses inside here, 2-0. He's looking down their roster here. If I can pull that up real fast. Another 2-0 pitch on the way, and it is a chopper right to the third baseman. To high hop there across the diamond for Runge as he'll go across and now will make the throw. Record the catch as Tommy Lane. The 5-3 putout has the Grey Wolves down in a 1-2-3 fashion. The second of the ball game here is the fourth. They went 1-2-3 there, and now repeat here in the 6th as that will end the inning. We'll go to the 7th here at Osland Field. Pat Flynn, Tommy Lane, and Lewis Wolf 2 up. When we return, here the Grey Wolves had the lead 6-0 here on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live.
Turn a double play with your Gresham Grey Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Grey Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Grey Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Grey Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@GreshamGreyWolves.com your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit GreshamGreyWolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Grey Wolves on social media. The Grey Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And so now we welcome you back inside the Gresham Ford booth here in the Wolf Den At Osland Field on the campus of Mount Hood Community College, I'm Evan Giddings bringing you Gresham Gray Wolves baseball. And they currently hold a 6-0 lead over the Bend Elks here in the first game of a 3-game series. And in fact, the final series, unfortunately, for all you Gray Wolf faithful fans out there, the last 3 games here, games 52, 53, and 54 of the season, as Benavides begins this inning with a swing and miss from the bat of Pat Flynn here, and it's 0-1. So it's been a long and great season, a very competitive season, especially here in the second half for Gresham. They've really found their own, and although are currently 3 games under 500 at 24-27, is now the throw goes awry there from Clanky as the pitch missed away from Benavides, 1-1, but the throw, actually second baseman Bark is gonna have to go collect that one. Now we'll play that ball, and in fact, now just gonna toss it in the dugout, get a new piece of leather for the left-hander. Benavides. So Flynn so far 0 for 2. Flew out to right, back in the second. Struck out in the fourth as he now ropes this one down the left field line. Gonna sink in for a base knock. Cardinelli over to recover it. Kick it back into the infield, and that's gonna hold Flynn with just a single. And that's the 3rd hit of the ball game here for Bend.
All right, fans, when you hear that, you know what time it is. Time for a beer batter. It's our last chance.
And so now it'll be Tommy Lane who will step in, the beer batter. Already 0 for 3, 0 for 2 so far. Did come up in the 4th inning, but then after a pickoff attempt, kind of relayed that over to the 5th. So far 0 for 2. 2 strikeouts already as the beer batter looking for the hat trick. As he now swings and misses on a changeup low and inside there, and it's 0-1. So if Benavides to in fact collect the 3rd strikeout, or I should say the 3rd strikeout for Lane, that would be number 60, which is in fact atop the WCL, as now another off-speed pitch misses too far outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. So the single there for Flynn as he is on first, but he'll be out here in the top of the 7th inning. The ball game for Bend. And a total of, I believe, 14 for Gresham. Fastball misses too far outside there from Benavides. And of course, nobody actually down there. Bend bullpen, which I was surprised to see. It was a righty up there earlier, whose name we actually were able to find. It was number 31 there, 31, Chase Thomas. So he was the one warming up down there. Finally got a look at the back of the jersey. Now as Benavides has the 2-1 pitch on the way. Curveball inside corner, called strike 2. And Lane didn't like it. Going to give a long look back to the home plate umpire, Tim Gerkman. Will stand his ground there. Not intimidated by the certainly large figure, about 6, I guess would be around 230, 240 pounds. As he wags it over the left shoulder. Blocked by Clinky. It squirts away, but is able to get to it. As the runner on first there, Flynn has to hold up. As Clinky's been money behind the plate all night. And really has been a joint battery effort. Because even whenever Benavides and his command has kind of been inconsistent, Clanky has been there to keep it in front. And so now it appears that the home plate umpire, Tim Gerkman, is maybe cleaning out his eye. Maybe some dirt from the ball in dirt kicked up and got into the retina. But nonetheless, appears to be okay. Will now be full. We'll see what the Bend Elks employ here. We've already seen one 3-2 pitch where the runner took off, resulted into a double play for Gresham. We'll see what they do here. Payoff pitch, runner doesn't go, slapped into left field. That's going to get down for a base knock. So Tommy Lane, breaking the scouting report, able to go the other way here, and there's back-to-back singles to begin this 7th inning for the Elks. Half of the hits here are 7th inning, 2 of which off the bats of Flynn and now Lane. And that'll bring the right-handed batter, Lewis Wolf, and actually, statistically, the best hitter for Bend with a .344 batting average. Rocking the no batting gloves look. Him along with Cardinelli for Gresham, the only members on the field to do so, as Benavides now delivers a strike right through the middle of the plate there, 0-1. Wolf so far has been held pretty quiet, similar to the rest of the offense for Bend. 0 for 2 with a fly out to center field back in the 2nd. Ground out to shortstop in the 5th. Now swings through a changeup over the outside part of the plate here, 0-2. Just so much movement on that changeup and really hard to pick up because both his changeup and his fastball kind of had that fade away from a right-handed batter, a hard sink from the two-seam, and then that changeup just appears to be a fastball, same arm speed, but just drops right out of the zone. There's now the 0-2 pitch, another changeup, a little higher this time, and so fought off and slapped off to the right in foul territory. Count remains 0-2. Wolf also with 31 hits this season and just 90 at-bats, just one double, so 30 singles for Lewis Wolf this season. In fact, very Jason Kendall-esh was a catcher back in the day. He used to catch for the Pirates as well as the Oakland Athletics. Is now this pitch low in the dirt, blocked by Clanky there. And that's ball one. So 1 ball, 2 strikes there. It's like I was saying about Jason Kendall. It was a guy that was pretty much, he was a journeyman, played 10 plus years in the MLB for the Pittsburgh Pirates as long as the Oakland Athletics, and really prided himself on his ability not to hit for power. In fact, over his MLB career, I would doubt that he would have more than 20 home runs. As a member of the Oakland Athletics, got to see him for a couple of seasons now. A nice play made there on a foul ball, grounded to a dugout of the Gray Wolves. That looked like number 9 Curtis Perrin on the barehanded play, getting a night's rest and giving way to his second base and teammate, Jordan Barkus. However, nonetheless, still finds a way to make a barehanded play over there in the dugout. And so Kendall, a guy that coming up was a Gold Glove winner for the Pirates, had averaged probably about 1 or 2 home runs per season, but hit around 300 and really tacked first method through the majority of this season. Is easy to see that with 31 hits and only one of them being a double, of course, no triples and no home runs, has just been all about getting those base knocks, finding the holes through the infield, being able to drop one right in front of the outfielders, and obviously has been a focal part of this since coming on 27 games ago. So the 1-2 pitch on the way, slapped into center field. That's gonna not get down for a base hit. Picking it up is Smith. Will fire off balance, throw to second base, in time, double play. Ryan Smith with a Web Gem nominee. We've seen a couple of those so far tonight. I thought that was gonna get in for a base hit, but he wrong once again and take a base knock away from Lewis Wolf, able to double up Pat Flynn at second base on the L8-6 put out there. 2 outs now in the 7th inning. And so even when Benavidez has gotten into trouble, his defense has been able to bail him out. A double play to end the 4th inning after back-to-back walks with 1 out. That ended that frame. And an opportunity with a runner on first to get out of this inning unscathed, as this one is slapped into center field. This one will drop right in between the second baseman and center fielder for Gresham. So Runge's got himself his second base knock of the night. In fact, has reached all 3 times. Was walked in the 3rd and a couple of base hits here. 2 of the 5 now for Bend. And there's been 3 singles here in this inning with Tate Budnick stepping up. And so now it appears that there's a possible member of the pitching staff for Gresham in the bullpen. Nobody warming up or throwing, but just kind of down there lingering around the relievers area. So the right-handed batter, Budnick, will peer in. A long look from Benavidez there. Finally has his sign. Kind of hunches over from the stretch, and the first pitch fastball right at the top of the strike zone, called 0-1. We haven't seen that pitch be called a lot tonight by Tim Gerkman, although seemed to be around the belt, maybe a little bit below, but Nick Colton couldn't pull the trigger. There's now the 0-1, a fastball similar height, but this time on the outside edge, called strike 2. So Budnick not happy with that one. Will take a couple of breathers outside of the box and a practice swing before stepping back in. And Benavidez just 1 pitch away from leaving a couple runners on base. Lane takes his lead from second. The 0-2 pitch, fastball high, meant to go up there, but couldn't draw Budnick to swing. So Benavidez changing the eye level there, and the count runs 1 ball and 2 strikes. Season has struck out 17 times as he now grounds this one up the third base line, but foul as it rolls off to the left side. Count will stand pat. Currently 0 for 2 on the evening, a fly out as well as a ground out. So Benavides will get a new piece of leather. Prepares to make the pitch, and now the 1-2 on the way. Change up low, a good pitch from Benavides, but Budnick able to hold up on the swing. 2-2 is the count. So Benavides currently with 3 walks, 5 hits allowed, but 6 strikeouts already. And a chance here for number 7 as he now shakes off Klenke, now gets his sign. Klenke will set up on the inside corner, breaking ball in and fouled right back off the boards there beyond the screen. 0-2, or 2-2, excuse me. The second foul ball of the at-bat. Trying to figure out the pitch count here currently for Benavides, as it looks like Trevor Huddleston is going to start throwing, or begin to throw down there in the Grey Wolves bullpen. But now Benavides will have to refocus here. 2-2, slap the other way, but will slice foul. Way out of play there down the right field line, out. In fact, gets down beyond the batting cage, which is right beyond the bullpen down the right field line for the opposing team. Then goes the batting cage, which is where a lot of players go down there for the pregame hacks when they're not getting their work out beyond the field. Generally, kind of some sort of rotation in terms of going to shag, then going to base run, then going to swing in the cages, then finally getting to take a couple of live hacks on the field. So the 2-2 pitch on the way, fastball, ring him up, strike 3 called over the inside corner, and Gabe Benavides gets his man to retire the side. So 7 strong here for Gabe Benavides as it's time to strip. When we come back, it'll be Zickafu, Smith, and Curtis here on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live. The lead still at 6-0.
Bum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get all dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Grey Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
And so now Connor Zickafoos, the left-handed batter, will step in. First pitch on the way to him from the new reliever, it appears, number 31 on the bump. There, a cutter too far inside. In fact, nearly clips Zickafoos 1-0.
Happy birthday.
So Nick Hunter's night is done as the man coming in, if I can pull up this roster real fast, swing and a miss here from Zickafoos. Count now 1-1. And so Chase Thomas, number 31, in the ball game. The right-hander now delivers another hard breaking ball, tipped into the glove that time of the catcher Wolf, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Attention, please, now pitching for band number 31, Chase Thomas.
So Thomas on the bump, coming in the ball game. So far as the 1-2 pitch on the way, hard fastball, chopper back up the box, backhanded by the second baseman, but cannot come up with it. Doesn't matter anyways. It's going to be a base knock and surely earned that time by Zickafoos as was kind of fumbled on the transfer up the box, but that's the second base hit of the evening for Zickafoos, number 12 for the Grey Wolves. Already has a 2 RBI double and now another single here on his resume, and even 500 on the night. And so coming into the game for Tomits, making his 11th appearance, although 9 of them have been starts, as now Smith will foul this one off to the left side near the Grey Wolves dugout, 0-1. So 9 starts, has a 3.9 even earned run average, a 3-3 record, so even there as well. Also an even 60 innings, 40 strikeouts. All the way around, this guy's got some crisp numbers here, as this one misses too far inside on a fastball out of the hands of Tomits, and it's a ball and a strike here to Ryan Smith. He's currently 1 for 3, a single as well as a run scored, as he now gets hit with a pitch, a slider too far inside, will turn and take it right between the numbers. Appeared to be right between the 1 and the 3 there of Ryan Smith, who just has a knack for getting himself hit by pitches this season. Now, whether it's the fact that he gets right up on the plate, which he certainly does from the right-handed side of the box, or the fact that he's just been a ball magnet thus far, not exactly sure, but nonetheless earns himself his 9th hit by pitch of the season. Now, that easily leads the team, and I'd certainly like to see how that stacks up in the rest of the West Coast League. However, nonetheless, nobody out now for the right-handed batter, Drew Curtis, who steps in. First pitch fastball right down the middle of the plate, and it's 0-1 here to the currently 2 for 3 Drew Curtis, the right fielder for Gresham. An extra base hit there in the third, a double. Also came around to score in that inning, and now it takes a front door slider right there on the inside edge, called strike 2. Also singled in the 5th, as he is 2 for 3 on the night. Unfortunately, could not make anything of it, as the next batter and the man on deck, Ben Klenke, grounded into a double play. So the Grey Wolves are looking for their first runs since the bottom of the third, as Curtis will stay alive here, fouls this one back off the screen. Curtis now having scored 12 runs so far this season, and nice to see the batting average climbing. Was around 150 or kind of 160, that general area for the majority of the season, as now he takes an off-speed pitch here low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And over his 106 at-bats up until recently didn't even have over 20 hits, but as of the recent tear, 10 hits in his last 22 at-bats for a nice 455 average. Has really seen that BA climb to 217, as he'll now take an emergency swing there, kind of a defensive approach, but is able to just get a piece and keep himself alive in the count. And so Curtis also with 16 RBIs, and that's something that I know Barkas expected from him at the beginning of this season. In fact, early on, the first couple of series was found around the 3-4 region. Was expected to be a powerful bat, and now sends a hot shot back up the box. One hops the shortstop, though, gloved it, backhand flip to second base, on to first in time. And what a nice turn there from George Mendizona. Caught it on the forehand, and like I said, the backhand flip to Tate Budnick covering at second, came across the bag to avoid the runner there, Ryan Smith, bearing down on him, and still able to muster enough to throw on to Lane at first base in time to complete the 6-4-3 double play. So just like that, there's 2 away, but Zickafoos does move up to second base, or third base, excuse me, so just 90 feet away from home, as Ben Klenke will come to the plate. He's looking for his first opportunity to reach base, as he's 0 for 3 and takes a big swing and fouls this one back off the screen here, 0-1. Grounded into a double play in his last at-bat, popped out to the shortstop in the third with runners in scoring position, in fact, and then struck out in the second to begin that inning. Not a great night for Klenke, as now he takes an overhand breaking ball on the outside edge, catches the corner there, 0-2. So Chase Tomits with a chance now to get out of the inning without allowing a single run. Getting that double play ball with nobody out. Pitch on the way, 0-2, broken bat flare right to the shortstop, and a jump and a grab. Mendizona able to hawk that one right out of the air. Definitely got up for that one and robs the Grey Wolves of not only a Ben Klenke base knock, but also another run, as Zickafoos is stranded on third to end the inning. So we'll head to the 8th here at Osland Field. George Mendozona, that nice play from the shortstop. He'll be coming up along with Derek Chapman and Elliott Willie when we return here on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live. It's Gresham 6 and Ben nothing. If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
Try to double play with your Gresham Grey Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Grey Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Grey Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Grey Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
And so the left-hander Trevor Huddleston will be on the mound, relieving Gabe Benavides, who twirled the gem tonight. As the first batter he will face will be the 9-hole hitter George Mendozona, coming off making a fantastic play off the bat of Ben Klinke to rob the Grey Wolves of a run as he swings and misses on the first pitch here, 0-1. And so Huddleston is making just his third appearance with the Grey Wolves. This is now low in the dirt here, 1-1. But back to Ben Klinke, or I should say the battery mate of Ben Klinke there. Gabe Benavides goes 7 shutout innings, allows 5 hits, no runs, as he blanks the Bend Elks through those 7 frames. And now Huddleston misses outside here, 2-1 to Mendozona. Walks 3, however, strikes out, I believe it was a total of 7, as he concluded his night with a K-looking, as this one is now popped up over on the left side. Drifting into shallow left field is Jack Johnson, the shortstop, will settle under it and make the catch for the first out of the 8th. It's like I was saying, back to Benavides. Struck out Tate Bunwick in arguably his toughest at-bat of the night. An 8-pitch at-bat, ended up getting the K looking for his 7th of the ball game. So Gabe Benavides, definitely want to give a tip of the cap to him, as he in fact held the Elks hitless through 4 2/3 tonight, and is surely going to earn himself a victory, barring any type of collapse here in the late innings now, as Huddleston misses upstairs to Chapman, 1-0. So Ben, the center fielder for Ben, I should say, Chapman to the plate, as he'll now take another strike. The first strike of that bat, now 1-1. And Benavides all night was locked in. You could just tell from the start, went 6 up, 6 down, and at that point you thought he had an opportunity to do something special. As the 1-1 on the way. Check swing there on a breaking ball, and no appeal, so ruled ball 2. You thought he had the chance to do something special, especially when, it just seemed like the look in his eye as this one is grounded over the right side, playable for Barkis, picked it up on his left, goes to first base to Matheson, in time, 2 away. But just the way he attacked these Ben Elks hitters with all of his pitches, whether it be his hard slider, his devastating changeup, a really good fastball with plenty of movement. Benavides was locked in all night and battled through plenty of adversity, was still able to come out on top. Whether it be in the 4th inning or the 7th, those are the 2 innings he had the most trouble, as now Elliott Willie will step in and take ball 1 low. allowed back-to-back walks. In fact, threw 9 balls in a row, but still then got a double play, or rather a strikeout and then a pickoff, and then got a double play there in the 7th after allowing back-to-back base hits. Now as the count 1-1 from a strike from Huddleston. And then able to get out of it, of course, with the backwards K there to Bunwick to end his night, as Huddleston misses just a bit low there with a fastball, 2 balls and 1 strike. So throughout the entire night, Benavides was spectacular and certainly has earned himself a great last win here as a member of the Grey Wolves, as this one is slapped now back off the screen, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And really worked well with the lead. The score now 6-0, and it has been that way since the bottom of the 3rd. Gresham plated 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, and 3 in the 3rd, and has put up zeros since. Is now the 2-2 on the way. Fastball high, checks his swing, and no appeal down to first base. Now finally we'll ask Jim Courtney, and no, he says. Of course, if you're going to wait that long, no field umpire is going to give you the time of day, and the count will run full. So Huddleston has his sign quickly working. Fastball, and barely got a piece of it. Did the batter there, Willie. And then he'll keep the count full. As the count 1-2, or rather, Willie's 1-2 on the night, I should say, as he walked in the 4th. It was the very first walk, the 4-pitch at bat there from Benavides. He's now the payoff pitch on the way. Fastball high. Got him to chase it upstairs. Swung on and missed as Willie goes down. And Trevor Huddleston works himself a very nice 1-2-3 8th inning. So we'll go to the bottom half of the frame as Will Matheson, Jordan Barkus, and Dylan Doherty will be due up here on the opposite end of this break on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live. It is Gresham 6 and Ben nothing.
Bum, ba-dum, da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Grey Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities. So now we want to welcome you back inside the Gresham Ford broadcast booth here at Osland Field on the campus of Mount Hood Community College, with the Gresham Grey Wolves coming to the plate here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be a new pitcher on the bump for the Bend Elks. Michael Warnick will be replacing Chase Thomas, who pitched a scoreless 7th inning, worked out of a bit of a jam as he relinquished a single as well as hit Ryan Smith, but then got a double play ball and a line out to get him out of the inning. So now it'll be up to Will Matheson to start things off against the new guy, Michael Warnick, excuse me. Going to be a sophomore from Bellevue, Washington, a right-handed pitcher. A 1-2 record making his 10th appearance all out of the bullpen. An even 7.0 earned run average. Has thrown in 9 innings so far. Struck out 9 while allowing 7 walks and 16 hits. As he now buries a fastball right there on the outside corner, strike 1 to Matheson, who has not been retired thus far tonight. Has reached all 3 times, 2 for 2 so far with a single and a 2 RBI double, as well as a pair of runs scored. There's another 0-1 pitch, another fastball, this time too low, however, below the knees, and it's 1-1. So Gresham firmly in control of this ball game, and it's going to be up to Ben there in the top of the 9th. That's their last chance. Going to have 3 outs to try and put together 6 runs or more to tie or take the lead in this ball game, as this one is flown out to right field. Playable there for Flynn as he takes a couple of steps in, now under it, and will make the catch for the first out of the home half of the 8th. So Matheson finally is retired and will likely end the night there 2 for 3. Not bad, however, as actually we've had a couple of 2 for 3 performances throughout the lineup of the offense this night for Gresham. Drew Curtis probably going to end at 2 for 3. Batting average now climbing up almost at 230, 229 to be exact, is now the left-handed batter Jordan Barkis will step in. Matheson himself 2 for 3, and also Jordan Barkis here right now is currently 2 for 3. With a single and a double, as he now will take a fastball of the outside corner 0-1. And an RBI double as well in the 3rd. And as for the scoring of Gresham so far, we mentioned how they are up 6-0, currently 12 hits, just 5 for Bend. Although all of the runs coming in the first 3 innings. Similar to the previous time they faced Bend, scoring 9 in the first 3 frames, as Barkis will now take this one low here, 1-1. Although tonight has been much different in the sense that not only the starting pitching, but the relievers for Gresham have not even given a glimpse of hope for the Elks offense to get back in this ball game. And every time they've had runners in scoring position have put a stop to it, as now Barkis will take a fastball on the outside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes. They got 2 runs in the first. Johnson with 1 out singled. Cardinale walked, and then a 2 RBI double from Zickafoos that split the gap out there in right center field, brought home the first 2 runs of the ball game for Gresham. As a 1-2 pitch on the way. Big 12-6 curveball there, swung on a miss, picked out of the dirt, and the tag applied there for the second out of the inning as Barkis is down on strikes and will retire on the night at 2 for 4. Now the 3rd run of the ballgame, I should say, came in the 2nd inning. And with 1 out again, the rally got started. Will Matheson singled. Barkis then and Doherty both singled to load the bases. And then with 2 outs, Mark Cardinale singled to the left side. Was a backhanded play by the shortstop Mendozona, but could not cleanly handle it. Was ruled an infield single and got an RBI on that play as well, as now the leadoff man Doherty will come to the plate. Takes the first pitch fastball on the outside edge, 0-1. The last 3 runs, however, came in the 3rd. These got started very quickly. Ryan Smith led off with a single, then Drew Curtis doubled. And after a pop out from Clanky with 1 out, it was a 2 RBI double from Matheson as the 0-1 pitch misses too far outside here, 1-1 to Dylan Doherty. After that, Barkis essentially switched places with Matheson, doubling home him with a right center field shot that rolled all the way out to the wall. The Gresham Police Officers Association sign out in right center field as now Doherty takes a big swing but fouls this one back off the boards here, 1-2, down to his last strike. So that's how the scoring got done here at Osland Field. The first game of a 3-game series against Bend. You can tune in tomorrow night. Nick Winstead, my broadcast partner, will be on the call for you all through 9 innings. 7:05 start time as the 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball inside, and I thought that one might have got a piece of Doherty, but somehow jumps out of the way of that one. Was bounced upwards of around the brim between the catcher circle and the infield grass, but nonetheless is able to avoid it, and the count will even up at 2-2. So now the pitch on the way from the right-hander Warnick, and it is a tapper right up the third base line. The pitcher has it, fires it on to first base in time. Fielding his position is Michael Warnick, able to get the speedy Doherty on the 1-3 putout, and unintentional drag bunt right there, essentially from Doherty. But nonetheless, the Gray Wolves go 1-2-3 in there in the 8th, and it'll be up to the Bend Elks to extend this ball game here in the top of the 9th. On to probably close it out will be the left-hander Huddleston, and it is, as he'll take the mound. So we'll come back to you after this quick commercial break here on Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball Live. It'll be Billy King, Pat Flynn, and Tommy Lane on the other side of this break. Gresham's up 6-0.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
Turn a double play with your Gresham Grey Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Grey Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Grey Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Grey Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to Jerry at GreshamGreyWolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit GreshamGreyWolves.com.
And now we want to welcome you back here at the top of the ninth inning. The last chance here for the Bend Elks as the left-handed batter and the leadoff man, Billy King, finds himself in a 1-0 count. And now we'll take another fastball low from the hands of the left-handed pitcher, Trevor Huddleston. Here, 2 balls and no strikes to the leadoff batter and DH this evening for the Bend Elks. Currently 6-0, they find themselves in a hole as this one is skied on the infield, but will drift back and out of play here into foul territory. A free souvenir for some lucky young fan, as that'll go for strike 1. So a pretty quick ball game so far here tonight, and looks to appear that it will finish that way. Got started a bit early, about 5 minutes. First pitch was around 7:01, as this one misses low here, 3-1 here to King. But just approaching 9:20, so this quite possibly could be one of the quickest games I've experienced here at Osland Field. And a very effective one for the Grey Wolves, as this one misses just off the corner outside, ball 4. So Huddleston walks King to lead off this ninth inning. Still a 6-run lead for Huddleston as well as the Grey Wolves. No defensive substitutions all around, as we got Cardinale in left, Smith in center, Drew Curtis in right. On the infield, Connor Zicafus at the hot corner, Johnson and Barkis up the middle with Matheson over at first base. Is the first pitch on the way now. A changeup here to Pat Flynn, called in the outside corner, strike 1. Of course, Ben Klenke behind the bump, and Huddleston on the mound as he'll check the runner at first. 0-1 pitch on the way, swung on and missed, blew a fastball by him over the outside edge, and it's quickly 0-2. Pat Flynn already has 1 strikeout tonight, is 1 for 3. Singled back in the 7th to lead off that inning before Benavides induced a double play. And now this curveball in the 0-2 pitch buried in the dirt, but blocked nicely by Klenke, able to keep it in front and not allow King at first base to advance on the ball in dirt. So nonetheless, Flynn followed by Tommy Lane, along with Lewis Wolf. As this one is hit high on the infield, popped up. Johnson now drifting back into left center field will call off Cardinale about a couple of feet on the brim of the grass there, and will make the catch for the first down. So a nice pitch there in on the hands of Flynn by Huddleston, able to get a pop out for the first out, and Flynn will retire on the night at 1 for 4, as Tommy Lane will now step to the plate. He's 1 for 3. Singled the other way into left field in his last at-bat, but in addition, a couple of strikeouts here for tonight's beer batter. Surely making the fans happy, as the first pitch on the way to him is a changeup low, blocked by Klenke, and it's 0-1. Yeah, he's been working hard all night long. No wild pitches so far. No pass balls as well, as Klenke has really been on top of his stuff. Hasn't necessarily been able to transfer that to the plate, as he is going to end up with an 0 for 4 night. But I'm sure the pitching staff very thankful for the effort that Klenke has put forth tonight behind the plate, as this one misses too far inside here, 2-0. So a 6-0 ball game. Ben has plenty of work to do. 12 hits for Gresham, 5 for the Elks. There's now Huddleston, the high leg kick, and a fastball just missed on the outside corner. Huddleston not happy with the call, but nonetheless, Tim Gerkman rules it ball 3. And has already walked one batter this inning in the form of Billy King. Not Billie Jean King, but Billy King as the 3-0 on the way. Fastball, and again misses. Seemed like a similar spot, and Huddleston not happy either with himself or the call as he walks off the mound. A deep breath as he'll shake his head, but nonetheless will go down in the books as a 4-pitch walk there to Tommy Lane, and suddenly there's runners on second and first, and Lewis Wolf will step in. The catcher in his last at-bat actually lined into a double play. It was a soft, sinking line drive that the center fielder Ryan Smith hawked off his shoot tops and then turned to make an on-the-throw run. It was kind of an off-balance toss from center field to the shortstop Johnson to complete the double play and effectively get Gabe Benavides out of the 7th inning, because at the time there was runners on second and first. There's now a long pause here, and Lewis finally in the box. But in fact, I actually believe there might be a pinch runner at first base. There is a pinch runner. And so the first pitch on the way now here to Wolf is a fastball outside 1-0. And so it's Choi Viola, on the base pass now for Tommy Lane. As now the 1-0 on the way from Huddleston. Fastball right through the middle. And that'll be called for a strike here. 1 ball and 1 strike. And so Viola actually just making his 3rd appearance, or Troy Viola, not Choi, as the 1-1 on the way slapped off to the right side and out of play foul here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Viola only has had 2 official games entered, so now this is his 3rd. Has not even gotten an at-bat, as he's been mainly used as a pinch runner throughout this season, since coming on relatively late, apparently. As now Huddleston kicks and fires. 1-2 pitch on the way. Grounded back up the box. That's going to get into center field for a base hit. Smith will come up. He'll relay this one in as the runner will come in from second base, and the Ben Elks are on the board. Billy King comes around from second base on the RBI single from Lewis Wolf, and just like that, the shutout is over, as it's 6-1 here in the top of the 9th. And so at least good to see for Ben Elks fans that they're not going to go quietly into the night. However, still plenty of work to do. Down 5 runs, 6-1, and there's going to be a bit of action beginning to brew down to the bullpen for Gresham. It appears the closer Michael Clark has begun to get loose, as the first pitch on the way here to Fungi misses high and outside 1-0. And Fungi is the hottest hitter for the Elks on the night. 2 for 2 with a walk, has not been retired thus far. Certainly going to be a tough out here for the Gresham Southpaw. First pitch, or rather second pitch, swung on and missed to the fastball, tied him up in the inside corner, and it's 1-1. And so Fungi, who coming into the ball game wasn't hitting particularly well. In fact, can't even find him on the roster here. However, nonetheless, Colin Fungi now finds himself down on the count 1-2. Pitch on the way, fastball low, gloved by Klinke there, and the count will even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Actually, in fact, Runge is his name. So we got a false report there. However, nonetheless, finds himself in a full count. So Runge comes into the game at just batting a hair over 200 at 204. 19 hits and 93 at-bats. 11 runs scored as the corner infielder. And now we'll call time, step out of the box. Now puts his feet back in. Huddleston checks the runner on second. Now kicks and fires, and this one popped up back beyond our heads and out of play foul. I would expect at this point, especially with a 5-run lead, not necessarily worried yet. However, Justin Barkis, who has seen crazier things happen throughout the course of the season, especially to the Bend Elks. The payoff pitch on the way, fastball outside. Huddleston has walked him. So now 3 walks here in this inning, along with an RBI single, has produced 1 run so far. As Troy Viola will head to third base, Lewis Wolf will go up to second, and Colin Fungi will now go to first base. So Tate Budnick, the second baseman, will now step in, as he's 0 for 3. Actually going to be a pinch hitter here. And it appears to be number 18.
Now hitting for Ben.
Andrew Edwards will step in.
Grant Sutton.
It's in fact number 19, so is going to be Grant Sutton. Pardon me for that. He'll step in for Tate Bunwick, who will end the night at 0 for 3. First pitch on the way to him is a fastball outside, ball 1. So Klinke going to go out and have a couple of words with Huddleston, who's really lost control of the zone here in this 9th inning. And it would be a shame if he couldn't finish the ball game, considering he ended up going 1, 2, 3 in the 8th. It was smooth sailings there in his previous frame. And with the way he's pitched, at least late in the season, would really want him to finish out this ball game and finish his season on a high note. Well, he's only thrown a total of 1 inning so far, as this one is slapped back off the screen here for the first strike of the at-bat. Allowed 2 earned runs in 1/3 of an inning to Walla Walla on the 23rd of July. And then his only other official outings came on July 28th against Kitsap. And that was in that 9-6 loss. Pitched 2/3 of an inning, allowed an earned run, as he now fires in a fastball right through the middle there. And it's 1-2. There's allowed a total of 3 hits in that singular inning. Has only walked 1. His total of walked 3 here in this inning, as the 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. Huddleston gets his man, as the pinch hitter Sutton comes up with nothing but air, and there's 2 away here in the top of the 9th. So with the bases loaded still, Troy Viola on third, Lewis Wolf on second, Colin Fungi on first. It'll be up to George Mendozona, to try and keep this ball game alive. Lefty on lefty matchup. First pitch swinging, laced into right field. Going back is Curtis, and he will not be able to get there. That one is going to get over his head, going to get all the way to the wall. Will likely clear the bases. Here comes Fungi all the way from first base, and he will score. So a bases clearing double on the first pitch he sees from Mendozona, and just like that, the tying run of the ball game will come to the plate, and unfortunately, I believe that will be the last pitch from Trevor Huddleston, as here comes Justin Barkis. So didn't plan on seeing him in this game tonight with a 6-run lead, but nonetheless, Michael Clark, the closer, will come in to try and finish off this ball game for the Gresham Grey Wolves as we take a break here on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live. We got ourselves a tight one. It's Gresham 6 and Ben 4.
Bum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
And so now, in an all of a sudden save situation, Michael Clark, the right-handed closer for Gresham, will be called upon to do just that here in the top of the 9th inning. Bend has rallied for 4 runs already. The score 6-4 here, as the leadoff man, Derek Chapman, will step to the plate. He represents the 8th batter of the inning coming to the plate. As the first pitch on the way to him is a fastball, but too far inside here, 1-0. Now, there are 2 outs. However, Chapman does technically represent the tying run. The possible 5th run on second base right now, and George Mendozona, who previously just hit a bases-clearing double off the right field wall. As now this one, ground ball right to the shortstop, chopped over the glove of Johnson into left field. That's going to allow the run to score as Derek Chapman has himself an error. That is going to be ruled an error on Jack Johnson, and really a difficult play because it was a hard ground ball. I'm surely in support of the E6 ruling. However, it was a difficult play because not only did Johnson have to cover a hard ground ball, which kind of kicked up off the lip, but also the runner on second base, Mendozona, went right in front of him before that ground ball actually got to Johnson. So he had not a lot of time to react, as this one also swung on by the 9th batter of the inning, Elliott Willie, as 5 runs has come across, and suddenly we got ourselves a ball game. Now, that last run not going to be earned, of course, as the E6 charge to Jack Johnson. Now a pickoff attempt over to first base, but back in time there is Chapman. However, the Gray Wolves looking to avoid another heart-wrenching loss or possible even close ball game here. Ooh, now the pitch on the way as this one called time, and Clark just sailed that one around the head of the batter who was stepping out of the box, and one way or another certainly delivering a message to Elliott Willie, who kind of called for time and was granted it late there by Gerkman. So Huddleston, who started this inning, unable to finish it, allows all 5 runs, 4 of them earned, 3 walks, a base knock, or 2 base knocks, I should say. This one is flared down the right field line. Gonna get in for a base hit. Curtis will pick it up and fire it in, and cut off by the shortstop Johnson. But now the tying run on second base, and the go-ahead run is aboard here in the top of the 9th inning. And with the way the Gray Wolves have played as of late, you gotta hope that this isn't just another eerily familiar story waiting to happen. Another chapter hopefully will not be written in the sad tales of what has gone on so far, at least in the last couple of days. Again, a 4-game losing streak coming in. They dropped a 10-9 game where Ben scored 10 unanswered. They lost 2 one-run games to Corvallis, and now are on the verge of blowing another one here as this one popped up over on the left side, over Zickafoos near the third baseline, and it is just out of his reach beyond the fence. Kicks out of play there, and Zickafoos cannot come up with it, so that'll be the first pitch strike on the way to the man who led up this inning, Billy King. Worked a 3-1 walk from Trevor Huddleston. At the time, didn't think anything of it because the next batter got out. And just like that, there was a chance to get a double play, 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. But before you know it, something has hit the fan as the 0-1 pitch, a slider too far inside, and it's 1-1. So Michael Clark really going to have to bear down here, trying to keep that tying run from scoring. Just 120 feet, or rather 190 feet away, excuse me, on second base in the form of Derek Chapman. The leadoff man really can run as the 1-1 pitch, a fastball too far outside here, 2-1. And really just unbelievable at this point that Gresham should find themselves in this predicament. Unfortunately, Huddleston, unable to finish the ball game, is going to be tagged with plenty of responsibility should this thing go wrong. It's a 2-1 pitch, and it is grounded back up the box. Incoming Smith, he'll pick it up. They're going to send the runner. Throw coming into home plate, and it is not in time. Throw gets away from the catcher, Clanky. That'll allow both runners to move up a base, and just like that, we have a tie ball game all knotted up at 6th here in the top of the 9th. You gotta be kidding me. 6 runs in the top of the 9th for the Bend Elks. 10 batters, and just like that. I'm sorry for laughing, but it's almost comical at this point, the way that this game and this end of the season has gone for the Gresham Gray Wolves. It's just been really tough to watch, and I'm sure even tougher to perform on the field, as there's just been nothing that they have apparently been able to do about it. Michael Clark has been making good pitches, but an even better swing there by King as he gets the RBI single to bring in the tying run, and now a possibility to take the lead here from Pat Flynn. As the first pitch on the way, in for a strike. But a total of 6 runners have come in this top of the 9th inning. Never thought it could happen. But the Gray Wolves have found a way. Here's now the pitch swung on slider past the dirt, and the runner cannot get the jump he possibly, and I believe probably could have scored, as the slider squirted away from the catcher Clanky, and surely would have been the makings of a wild pitch, but Elliott Willie couldn't pull the trigger on third base. Didn't get the jump he wanted to, and his third base coach was furious, screaming at him because that represents, of course, the go-ahead run. But instead, still just 90 feet away, and it should be 1-2, or 1-1, I believe, should be the count, because he didn't swing. And now the pitch on the way, tapped over the right, out of play, foul. And now 1-2. So now runners on second and third, as this one is flared into right field, giving chases Barkis. That's going to fall. The go-ahead run will score. They're going to send the other one. Throw to the plate, not in time as it gets away from Clanky. And the throw down to second base from Clark, and it is in time. They get the runner extending to second base, but nonetheless, 8 runs have come in to score in the top of the 9th inning, and just like that, a miracle has happened for the Bend Elks as the Gresham Gray Wolves will go into the bottom of the 9th, nonetheless having to hit, but also finding themselves down 2 runs. So it'll be up to Jack Johnson, Mark Cardinale, and Connor Zickafus when we return here on Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball Live. It is Bend 8, somehow 8, and Gresham 6.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Gray Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Gray Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Gray Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGrayWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Gray Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGrayWolves.com. Gear up!
And so didn't think I was going to have to say it, but here we go to the bottom of the 9th at Osland Field. It's going to be up to Jack Johnson to try and lead things off as Gresham finds himself down 8-6 entering the 9th inning. It'll be Michael Warnick to try and close things out for Bend, as Gresham was unable to do the same thing in the top half of the frame, as Johnson will start things off with a fastball inside here, 1-0. 8 runs come across in the top of the 9th inning. Nothing but zeros up on the board up until the top half of this inning. And just demoralized faces there in the dugout. But still with 3 outs to play, an opportunity to not only be a part of one of the greatest comebacks on the other side, but then also possibly regain the victory or the possible win. Whatever, you never know what's going to go on at this point. I mean, have you seen 8 runs in a ball game in 1 inning? Is this one a broken bat flare into center field? That's going to drop for a base hit. Chapman comes in, will pick it up and play it in, but not before Jack Johnson collects a single here to begin the bottom of the 9th inning. And so now the tying run will come to the plate in the form of Mark Cardinale, and he's gone back to the batting gloves. Obviously did not like the barehanded look, although produced 1 base hit, currently 1 for 3 with a walk, an RBI, as well as a run scored. But nonetheless, Cardinale will represent the tying run. Johnson on first base. Gresham has not scored since the 3rd, and you hate to say that history repeats itself sometimes, as Cardinelli will take strike one, but nonetheless, very eerily familiar to the third game against Bend, and now kind of relaying or transferring some sort of unbelievable mojo, baseball juju, whatever you want to call it. This one is a high fly ball, but playable in the yard there in left field. Incoming Willie out there in left. He's able to make the catch now, one away off the bat of Cardinelli. He just missed a home run right there, and he knew it as he heads back to the dugout shaking his head. So in the last game of the Bend series on August 1st, Bend scored 10 runs over the last 6 innings to complete a 10-9 victory. They were down, similar type of situation, not exactly all in one frame did they put it together, but nonetheless, they were shut out 9-0 through 3 and then kind of chipped away, ended up getting a 10-9 victory. Now as Zickafoos will step in and take strike one of the outside edge. However, in this game, they were dead in the water, 6-0 entering the top of the 9th inning, and they managed to put up 8 runs. Trevor Huddleston tagged with, I believe, 6 of them. Michael Clark giving up the other 2, as now this one, a curveball misses outside, although I believe the last 3 of them unearned, as a Jack Johnson error off the bat of Derek Chapman allowed the last 4 runners actually to come across. So we'll see how that plays out in terms of the statistics and what earned runs are tagged with whom, as now Warnick misses too far outside to Zickafoos. The count will run 3 balls and 1 strike. Or 2 and 1, excuse me. So runner on first with 1 out. Warnick, that high set. Long peer in. Still holding. Now finally the high leg kick and fire. Swing and a miss on a fastball. And Zickafoos just 1 strike away from being the second out of this inning. Currently 2 for 4. And with a double, a couple of RBIs, and a single here in this ball game. The slightly open stance from Zickafoos. Stands tall in the box. Tapes the handle on the bat. Wags it over the left shoulder. Another long pause from Warnick. Finally, the 2-2. Broken back, ground ball up the middle. It's going to be fielded by the second baseman to the shortstop and cannot make cannot continue the double play, as that'll go as a fielder's choice for Zickafoos. And just like that, the Gray Wolves are 1 out away from falling in quite possibly the most devastating fashion I've ever witnessed. I don't... So now the center fielder, Ryan Smith, will step in, as he's 1 for 3 on the night. 1 run scored and also a hit by pitch, so he's reached twice and represents the last hopes. He is also representing the tying run. And Zickafoos takes his lead from first. Pitch on the way from Warnick. A fastball low, though gloved and kept in front by Wolf here, 1-0. And I know it's frustrating for the players, although the game is not over yet, but just the way that things have unfolded, not only in this game, but just down the stretch of the season. So unfortunate the way the events have turned out. But hoping to possibly instill some hope as well as life into the bats of this offense that have been stagnant since the third. This pitch now misses outside here, 2-0. Drew Curtis waiting on deck, chomping at the bit, waiting for his chance. There's also a lefty in the bullpen for Bend. That's now the 2-0 pitch from Warnick. Fastball called for a strike on the outside corner. No contention there from Ryan Smith, as he knew it. Nonetheless, 1 strike closer to a Gray Wolves loss and a Bend Elks victory here. First game of the series. You can catch us again tomorrow night, same time, 7:05 p.m. here on the broadcast. First pitch, as this fastball misses low below the knees, 3-1. Although a borderline call, definitely not going to get the call from any home plate umpire, especially with the last out. They generally like to make the pitchers work for it. Going to have to be a perfect pitch, as Warnick now has his sign. Will come set. Zickafoos over at first. Stands still. As this one ripped through the left side and past the diving shortstop into left field. Ryan Smith, the tying run is aboard here now for Drew Curtis. It will step in. What a clutch base knock from Ryan Smith, and really a multitude of clutch base hits on the opposite side from the Bend Elks, and that's what the Grey Wolves are going to have to do in order to match. Despite getting 3 of their 4 first base runners there in that inning from walks, and that was from Trevor Huddleston, as it appears we're going to have a pitching change, they still got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 base hits there in that top of the 9th. So Gresham will have a different look here. We'll get the number as well as the name of the new pitcher after the end of this pitching substitution break here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live. We got the tying run on first base, 2 outs. I'm Evan Giddings, and you don't want to go anywhere.
Try to double play with your Gresham Grey Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Grey Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Grey Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Grey Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Grey Wolves on social media. The Grey Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And so now the left-hander Grant Larson going to come on and try and close this thing out for the Bend Elks. 2 outs, Drew Curtis to the plate. Runners on second and first, the tying run on first base in the form of Ryan Smith. Here for the Gresham Grey Wolves, they find themselves down 8-6 here in the bottom of the 9th inning, down to their last out. As Grant Larson currently with 1 save on the season, trying to complete number 2. And Drew Curtis will try and get him one of his first blown saves on the season. Not a statistic recorded by the WCL, but nonetheless. We'll try and make it just that as the first pitch on the way to him. Check swing on a slider, and he did go around, says Tim Gerkman. No contention there, and it's 0-1. Grey Wolves have been down to their last batter a couple of times. Ryan Smith, the last batter, the 2 outs, singled through the left side to extend the ball game. After an 8-run top half of the 9th inning by the Bend Elks to put them and pole vault them ahead here in this game. As the 0-1 on the way, sinking fastball alone the dirt, blocked by Lewis Wolf. And a nice play there, preventing either runner from advancing. Connor Zickafoose on second base. He'll take his lead as he's held on tightly by the second baseman, Tate Budnick. Definitely going to play Curtis to pull, as he's already has a couple of base hits so far here tonight. Now backdoor breaking ball over the outside corner. A borderline called there for strike 2 from the hands of Tim Gerkman, at least relaying the strike sign. And now the Grey Wolves and Drew Curtis down to their final strike. Gonna have to shorten up here as the left-hander comes set. Now the pitch on the way from Larson. Backdoor breaking ball again, but fought off to the right side of the screen here, and Curtis will stay alive for at least one more pitch. 2 for 4 in this ball game with a double, a run scored, also a single. So Curtis, with that average climbing up near 230, has been the Grey Wolves' hottest hitter in the past week. 10 base knocks in 22 at-bats coming in. They could really use one more here as he swings and misses on a changeup in the dirt. Lewis will pick it up, throw it on to first base in time, and that will complete one of the more improbable victories I have ever witnessed as a baseball fan, not even as a broadcaster or calling a baseball game in general. But I have never seen a comeback like this ever. An 8-run rally in the top of the 9th, and the Bend Elks defeat the Gresham Grey Wolves in Game 1 of the final 3 games. So the Grey Wolves fall, unfortunately, 8-6 here by 2, as all runs come in the top of the 9th inning for the Bend Elks, and just like that, that will extend the longest losing streak of the season for Gresham, and it's just a shame that it seems like they're crawling to the finish line, but hopefully in these next 2 games we'll be able to break out of whatever type of funk they're in. It just seems like over these last 5 games, no matter how well they've played, they've always found a way to lose. And it's just been unfortunate to watch, but hopefully we'll be able to get back in the win column tomorrow night. So that'll do it for all of us here in the broadcast booth, myself along with Connor Pelton, Michael and Jessica Lord. We want to all thank you for tuning in. And unfortunately, the Grey Wolves cannot get the victory, but we'll be back right here tomorrow night at 7:05 p.m. at Osland Field on the campus of Mount Hood Community College. Would like to see as many of you out here as possible, but if not, tune in. My broadcast partner, Nick Winstead, will be in for all 9 tomorrow night, and that'll do it here for the broadcast. So the Gresham Grey Wolves fall to the Bendels 8-6 in unfortunate and devastating fashion. So we're going to wish all you a good night here. That'll do it. My name is Evan Giddings.